All right, all right. Welcome YouTube. Welcome Big Blue Crew, the True Blue Podcast, episode number 50. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how many episodes we have, but there's a lot.
Yeah, there is.
Classified 3 up with Joe with me tonight. Miz and Lou will probably be joining in a little later. I know Lou has to get in and get settled, so I know he will be on later. Sports with AJ, Super Tires. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are always first, and I truly appreciate that. Tonight's
right.
stream, we're going to do it a little bit different, man. We're going to be talking about the Giants' future. I like what Miz had sent me earlier. Colin Coward, I usually don't listen to the guy, but he made an extremely good point. He said, look, Rodney, what's going on? Hey Rodney,
Steve.
if you want to come on tonight, and Steve, if you guys want to come on, I will put the link in the chat. Wells, what's going on?
Wells.
Because I don't have you guys Twitter, so I couldn't send you the link personally. But Rodney, if you ever want to come on tonight, you can.
Right.
But what Colin was saying, what's going on, Ethan? He was saying, man, stop talking about the past. The past is done. Gettleman's gone. Judge is gone.
Right.
And he said, Giants fans, Giants media. There goes Lou. What's going on, Lou?
Yo.
And he said, stop talking about the past. Stop talking about previous regimes, and move forward with your coaching search and your GM search.
I agree.
And that's true. I totally agree with that. Normally, I don't agree with the guy. I think he's a little bit of an a-hole sometimes.
Yes.
But he's been
he's an a-hole sometimes.
He's been a sportscaster for over 2 decades now, so he's obviously doing something right.
He is an a-hole.
Yeah, he is.
Lamar, what's good?
Lamar Adams, what's going on? I think
Ethan,
Ed Dobbs.
Balandron, thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe to Classified 3F and Big Pat Sports Talk and Super Taj and myself.
I think he's subscribed. Yeah, I think he's subscribed to all of us.
I think he is too.
I've never seen him in my comment section, so I would greatly appreciate it.
Yes.
I think I've seen him there.
Ethan Balandron?
I think Ethan's been in all the Big Blue Crew streams.
I do too.
I've never seen him in my comment section.
He said, poor Joe Judge. Hey, listen, I was a Joe Judge supporter.
Yeah.
I think the guy actually would be a good coach if he actually goes into a fair situation.
Yeah.
He was not fair.
Yeah, he was thrown into a bad situation with no coaching experience. OC forced on him, a pandemic, no offseason, no preseason, no OTAs, his very first time out as a head coach. So he had a lot of things to deal with that people
and a messed up front office. A messed up front office.
A lot of bad things that he had in hand.
That was overwhelming for just about any head coach starting out.
Especially one with no experience as a coach.
Yes.
Hey,
Yo, Mark, what's good?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
what's good?
Welcome to the True Big Blue Podcast, big fella.
Thank you, man. You know what I mean? What's going on? Shout out, you know what I mean? North New Jersey, North Carolina in the house.
Okay, North Carolina.
There you go, Lou.
Right.
I'm from the Bronx, but I live in Jersey and now I'm in North Carolina. So
y'all brought up a good concept.
Still in the Bronx.
Y'all brought up a good concept.
Yeah.
The job was, like you said, was fair. Like you said, clean house. That was a plus. You don't want to do in-house stuff when you do.
Oh, he dropped out.
He fell off. He'll be back.
Crap.
But
damn, mid-sentence.
Right.
I know.
Listening like him.
BLSG, is that the Cowboys fan or is that the guy from
No, I think that's the Eagles fan.
Who?
BLSG. Yeah, ain't that the Eagles fan?
Yeah, BLSG's an Eagles fan.
Yeah, my bad.
Cut off.
Yeah, when you do in-house stuff, you get in-house results, which is true. You don't want to bring back the old ways. We had success running game, playing good defense. Coaches coach, players play. Fans, like you said, fans on TikTok and any other followers got in the Marin's head like, yo, he making us look bad. Like, you gotta get him up out of here. Why you think they boycotted that last game?
Yeah, that's why they sold their tickets to
And it was
Dallas fans.
real disrespectful. $6? That's like a pack of Newports up here. Like, really?
Right. That was crazy.
$12.50 in New York, man.
Shit, that's like a shot. That's like a shot of Hennessy for me. Like damn. Hey, let me get $6 on Pump E.
Right.
Yeah, but like you said, though, you got 3 candidates for GMs. A couple of them got Super Bowl experience. Reason why I say Ed Dobbs, he created the Legion of Boom that jumped up and
He damn sure did.
And got him back. When he went to the Colts, he built that offensive line.
Yes.
Yep.
And it was a good one. Can't say bad. But it was a decent, you know what I mean? See how they gelled? Why you think Quentin Nelson is the best Pro Bowl guard of all time? He might get into the Hall of Fame, how the way he dominated defensive linemen.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta have that mindset on the offensive line. Like, yo, we tired of being joked around. It's time to put your big boy pants on and rock out.
Right.
Head coaching wise, I got no problem with it. As long as you give the fans what they want, which is wins, they be quiet. More losses, you get riots.
Well,
Steven says Dobbs interviewed with Chicago. He said, anyone see connections to the Giants? Ed Dobbs, I do give props. He did build the Legion of Boom. He actually literally built that Legion of Boom defense. He drafted Earl Thomas. He drafted Cam Chancellor.
Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor.
I think he had
Broner, the other cornerback, he's in prison.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maxwell. I think he drafted Wagner as well. I'll have to check up on that. But I think he drafted
Bobby Wagner back in 2012.
Yeah, he grabbed him.
And I don't know if he was part of Marshawn Lynch over there from the Bills. I have to check that out. And yes, he did help build that offensive line with the coach. So Ed Dobbs, he's very good. I think he was like 4th or 5th on my list. I think one of my candidates, Mr. Ryan Poles, he's probably going to get eliminated after this process with Joe Show.
Do you mean Ryan Poles from the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 candidates. My opinion, those are the 2 candidates right there. Brian and Dobbs.
Hurts. Well, Hurts. What's his name from the Ravens?
Ortiz. Joe
Ortiz from the Ravens. He was under Ozzie Newsome.
They also requested.
Yeah, Ozzie. Don't get it wrong. Ozzie Newsome put some words to talk.
Lou, you said Peters from San Francisco?
I said they also requested an interview with Peter Adams from San Francisco.
Yeah, Peter Adams. There you go. I don't know why I said Peter.
And then we just had an interview with the guy from Arizona too.
The former safety.
Brian.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you. I believe.
He was a safety.
I think
Joe Hopes.
Because you have to interview a black candidate every time. So,
but 2 now because the Rooney Rule got updated.
Yeah, I say you don't do that.
It's what it is, Lou. I get it.
And all that other good stuff.
It's horseshit. I agree, Lou.
You don't want no football coach to be blackballed, and once that gets out, that's it.
Well, what they're doing now for the Pro Bowl in college, the head coaches aren't allowed to make the calls anymore. They can sit and assist, but they're having the coordinator step up and be a head coach for the Senior Bowl so that they can show off what they can do to the other 32 teams to make them head coach candidates. And this year it's the Jets and the Lions coaching staff that's going to be operating the Senior Bowl. So they're trying to, work these assistant coaches, whatever, let them move up a spot or two during the game so that at least maybe we got a better idea of their candidacy.
Yeah. You know why that's a great idea? So we don't end up with a special teams freaking coach who's never been a head coach again.
Hold on. There's one special teams coach that was successful, and his name. Hold on. No. His name was Tom Coughlin. He was a special teams coach and the wide receiver coach back in the day.
Right, but he worked his way up. But
he made it work.
Judge went
Things didn't work out. He went
to wide receiver to head coach. He didn't go to coordinator or defensive coordinator. He skipped like 3 positions. That's why I feel like had he worked his way up, he probably would have made a better run at this.
Well, then he took a lot what he learned from Carolina.
He was with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was with the Jaguars. Took him to an AFC title game. They turned him. Then once he got laid off.
No, I'm talking about Joe Judge, not Coughlin. Coughlin was a beast. I love Coughlin. I love Coughlin. I was mad when they forced him to resign. I think that was where everything went wrong.
Look at that Coughlin coaching tree.
They threw him under the bus.
Yeah, look at that Coughlin coaching tree.
Went wrong. They should have fired Reese.
Hold on, fellas. We're gonna get into this question right here. I think Joe should be able to take this question very well. He says, "What's his deal with Ryan Poles? Me and Ryan Poles. Haven't seen much on him. I've seen Austin Ford, Dobbs, and Sean thrown around. If you want to give a little background on Ryan Poles, you can, Joe. I mean, you're the guy that actually brought him up."
Ryan Poles is a guy that's been with Kansas City Chiefs for a while now, and he started out at the bottom of the ladder, actually, and I think it was 2007 or 2009. He started as a scout, and he did that for 3 years, and then he has just moved up every 2 or 3 years. He's been at every position in the scouting department for 2 to 3 to 4 years. And it wasn't until 2021 where he was bumped up to like the assistant general manager. So if you look at the talent on that Kansas City Chiefs team, because he's been there since 2007 or 2009. I don't remember exactly which year, but it's right in that timeline. And he has just 2009. It was just continuously progressive. You don't do that unless you're good at your job. Usually you're there 5-6 years and then you move up. But if you're showing talent, people will boost you, which is one of the reasons why I don't want, who's the other guy from ESPN? I can see it, Louis Riddick. Right, because he moved up a little bit, but he's been out of the football organizations since what, 2012?
Yeah, almost 10 years.
Exactly. And then we're not hearing of any other teams wanting to interview him. How come it's just the Giants? How come the media is
what he said when he said he wanted Dwayne Haskins, and everybody looked at him like, go jump.
Right.
Dwayne Haskins ain't even in the damn league no more.
Well, he's with Pittsburgh, but Pat even looked up his coaching tree.
Quarterback. He just collecting a check.
Pat looked up Riddick's, future draft picks when he was with Washington and the Eagles, and some of the quarterbacks he pulled. It's horrible.
Quarterbacks that he picked were absolutely horrible.
Right.
And this is crazy. Washington could have had Aaron Donald because of that trade where they made with Robert Griffin III.
Right.
They gave up the kitchen sink like back in '99 when they gave up the whole draft lottery for Ricky Williams.
3 first-round picks, and then the Saints. The Saints gave up every pick to move up and get Ricky Williams. He was the only draft pick that year.
Fucking moves I've ever seen in my life.
That's no worse than Minnesota giving up everything for Herschel Walker.
Right.
Letting Dallas build that team.
Fucking monster.
Matter of fact, you brought that up. And make us a bad. Jimmy Johnson never got the credit for it.
Right.
Right.
And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Why you like?
I'm gonna say a couple of things. The reason why I like Ryan Poles the most is because of his resume with going with the
Deception.
Jackass, Deception, Steven, you know, all Levance. Thank you guys for tuning in. Nate Talks Football. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for the 23 in the chat. The reason why I like Ryan Poles the most is because of his resume. His resume is dynamite. He gives us what we need. He gives us a scout, and he was top of player personnel over there with the Chiefs. So basically, he scouted the players and he maneuvered players as far as free agency and things to get players to come in and could join what Andy Reid wanted over there with the Chiefs.
I understand.
Go ahead.
I understand that everybody want Brian Dobbs, but he came under that Belichick tree. You don't want you want to start fresh. Get some young Thundercats that's willing, like, open up that yellow pages, like, yo, we'll take a chance on him. Like you said, the candidates you said from the Chiefs. One is Old Boy, and the other one's from Indianapolis. Who would you build your thing on if you want to fix the offensive line? Dawes or Ed Dobbs?
Well, let me tell you this, big fella.
We call Thundercats cougar pussy. That's why I said pause when you said that. I was like, oh man.
let me tell you this, big fella. Is that AK? What's going on, bro?
AK.
What's going on?
Hey, I just in here real fast, man, and I got a live here at 9:30. I just want to stop in and say I appreciate you guys for all the help over here, even though you are Giant fans, sharing and retweeting all my stuff this week, and you know I appreciate it, each and every one of you. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Good, bro.
Hey, man, we keep you in our prayers too, brother.
Big sure. Shout out AK, man. Shout out what you're doing tonight at 9:30. This is a hell of a cause, man. A fellow YouTuber has fallen in hard times, and AK is taking it up on himself to help this man out. And AK, take it away.
Yeah, man. No, I won't lie. This has been very draining on me as well. I've streamed 20 hours in the last 48. It has to do with my brother Foothills. He's not my blood brother, but he is my brother. We've been doing a podcast together for 8 months now, and he just lost his 26-year-old son an hour before our game last Saturday, and just trying to raise money and stuff for him and his family to try and ease their hearts and ease their wallets. I've lost loved ones. We all have. We know how it is mentally draining as much physical. I started the GoFundMe to help him and his family, and I'm $20 away from $1,700.
Oh damn! Nice.
I have a goal of 5K. That is my personal goal because I do know, how much funerals cost. It can go from $5 to $12 grand. It just all depends.
They cost like car payments.
Yeah. But no lie, man. I just want to say that even though we're rivals, we're brothers over here. You guys have accepted me into your guys' family over here, and you proved that this week by helping me out and stuff. And I'm not going to stop till I hit my goal. So I just want to truly tell you how much I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, if you can't.
At the end of the day, we're football fans, and we all like the same sport. We might cheer for a different team, but we're human, bro.
Yeah,
exactly.
And if we can cheer for a different team and still hold each other down and express kindness to another human being in a football field or a football setting or a YouTube platform, then the rest of the world should be able to do that shit too, regardless of your color, your gender, your belief, or any of that shit. Because at the end of the day, we're all human and we all bleed and we all die.
And if you can't donate, it doesn't take anything to just share it out on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, just share it. It doesn't cost nothing, and we appreciate it if you could.
Yeah, man, that's the thing, man. It only takes one act of kindness to change the world, and if I can do that, that's what I'm going to do. I wear my heart on my sleeve a lot, And you know, I try and be the best person I can be. You know, I've made mistakes when I was young. I've done stupid shit, you know, and I've learned from it. But you know what? We live in a shitty world right now with everything that's going on. You know, we really do. And I'm going to use my platform for good, one way or another, you know.
Right.
And I'm blessed that I have that platform now, you know, that I can do this stuff, because a year ago I wouldn't be able to. So, you know, I just appreciate all the friends I've made on here, man. And it truly shows how much we have each other's backs.
Mhm.
It really does, man. YouTube is truly a family when it comes to content creators. It does not matter the team, you know, and that's why I say, whenever I say on my channel, you know, this has nothing to do with football at this moment.
Right.
This is truly just humanity at its best, and we're showing that, and I just appreciate it, man, so much.
Thank you, Steven. No, thank you, KK, for popping in. You're welcome anytime.
Good luck on your
Anytime,
journey.
brother.
You're doing one hell of a job. You're almost halfway to your goal, bro. So
Right.
keep it going. You know,
Getting
I'm gonna
close.
keep checking it out, and I'm gonna try to share it in my community as much as I can, bro. But
Yep.
Stay strong and stay
always
focused.
welcome, and
I'm about to
stay
share it on
strong
Twitter
with your
right
journey,
now,
bro.
Thank you. Yeah, and no lie, man. Sneaky G invited me to come on his channel tomorrow at 9. You know, he's going to try and help me out as well. So, I mean, dude, this is coming from giant content creators here.
Nice.
I'm just completely fucking mind blown, man. Like,
Hey.
it is truly a wonderful thing that we got going on here, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, Joel's one of my best friends, you know, and he's a giant guy. So it does not matter, you know, it does not matter, man.
Right.
I appreciate each and every one of you.
Tony the
Oh.
Tiger, thank you for tuning in, man.
Yes,
Hopefully you
thank you,
heard
Tony.
Mr. AK's calls. Go over to AK's channel. Shout out your channel, AK.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get it in the chat soon so everybody can know
Show
exactly
them
what you're doing. But shout out your
love and
channel,
some
bro.
support.
The Eagles
Right.
Uncensored.
Yeah, it's Eagles Uncensored, man. That's all it is, you know. Very short, sweet, and simple. It's not hard to
when I'm
find.
on there. There's no censor.
Right.
Yeah. No, and I appreciate you guys jumping over there and talking with me, man. And he's not on here right now, but Miz too. You know, he jumped on and hung out with me for a long time last night.
Is it on your channel, AK?
Yeah, man, it's on my channel. I'm gonna have it up here at 9:30.
Okay.
I don't have it set up yet. I'm running a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a little drained. My mind isn't working that well lately.
No, it's all right, brother.
At 9:30.
But yeah,
it's
I'm
gonna
definitely
be
gonna have it up.
minutes.
Even when I'm on stream, I'm definitely gonna have it up, tuned in, and we put
Appreciate
things
you,
in
man.
the chat, man. Hopefully everything comes out all right. I know you're gonna reach your goal. Might not be now, maybe a little bit later, but I know you're gonna reach that goal. I know you're not gonna stop that type of dude. So
there's a link for AK's YouTube channel right there. I just dropped it. Yo, he's gonna set the link up here. So just go in and give the guy a thumbs up, because if he can get into that algorithm, he'll start popping up in the search tools and the bars and everything, and that'll really help him. We get to reach it to people who have an extra $5 or whatever. You know, unfortunately, we are all not like that these days and age.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
and you know, thank you. Like I said, I can't say thank you enough, dude, because I mean, that video that I did yesterday, that 9-hour stream, you know, before I jumped to Mitch's channel, I got over 500 views, I think, on that already.
Nice.
And that has to do with you guys too, you know, because you guys tweeting and sharing my stuff, and you know, and that's why I tell everyone I'm thankful to have this platform, because without you guys, this would not have been possible. You know, it takes all of us to get this done.
Well,
it really does. And
get something out on Twitter, AK. I'll definitely share the shit out of it.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Not a problem.
There you go.
Even on Facebook or IG. Yeah.
I have it on Facebook. I have it on Facebook, and I have it on Twitter, and I do it on here. So
everybody who's watching and everybody who can, go sub up to him and retweet his stuff or share his videos, so we can try to spread the word and help his fellow brethren bury his child, man.
Oh man,
Yeah,
now I gotta find this
no,
guy on Twitter.
Because I'll tell you what, man, it's one of those things. Children should bury parents. Parents should never have to bury a child.
Facts.
So,
Exactly. That's the way the cycle of life is supposed to go.
That's a fact.
yeah. So, thank you guys. I love each and every one of you. You truly are great friends, man. But I'm going to get out of here. Let you guys get back to what you do.
All right,
my guy.
Bless you,
All
bro,
right,
man.
man.
And go
Thank
reach
you.
that goal like I know you're gonna do, bro.
Yes, you
Thank
will.
you.
We're
You guys have a good night. God bless.
In the name of Jesus.
You too, man.
You too.
You good?
All right, deception. But yeah, man, that's for a great cause, man. If you guys checking in, man, go check out AK, man, and help him reach that $5,000 goal. He's almost halfway there. He has been doing major streams. He's been going 9, 10, 11, 12 hours for the past couple of days trying to raise that money for falling for a YouTuber who unfortunately lost his child. Like he said, no parent should have to bury their child. It should always be the other way around. But we live in a world that's a little crazy, so a lot of things don't happen the way it's supposed to.
We live in bizarre.
There's his
world.
Twitter.
Yeah.
There's his Twitter homepage. I just dropped his Twitter in the
All right.
chat.
I'm trying to find my damn bowl. I can't find my bowl.
All right, but we're gonna get back to we're talking about the future of the Giants now, man. We're not talking about the past anymore. At least I'm not gonna talk about the past anymore. What happened with Joe Judge, it happened, and now we have a clean slate.
Yeah.
This is the first clean slate we've had in a while. And I want these guys to make the correct hires. I believe I was talking about why Ryan Poles was my favorite candidate for the GM job. My list was Ryan Poles, Ortiz, Sean, then people like Dobbs and people like Peter Adams from San Francisco. They came in like a close 4 or 5, and then the 2 GM candidates from the Titans. They all made the top 10, but my top 3 was Poles, Ortiz, and Sean. I wanted Poles first. Pause. I wanted Poles first because he went through every single division of scouting. And I believe that's one of the main issues that's going on with the New York Giants right now. I believe our scouting department is old. I believe our scouting department was lazy. And what I mean by lazy, I don't think they were going out doing their scouting like they were supposed to. We all know Dave Gettleman lost his touch. And one of the main reasons why he lost his touch is because he was fighting cancer for 3 of about the 4 years that he was here. And so he wasn't able to get out there in the field like he once was. And when you got a lazy staff behind you, it hurts. Yeah, I did not see the mayor press conference, but I heard some things about it, Blue City.
I did today. I could only watch 5 minutes of it, Pat. He just sitting there in that monotone voice. Yeah, well, nice getting 2 questions in there. I like that. That was his joke. He's just sitting there. Yeah.
He reminded me of Mr. Burns from The Simpsons.
Oh man, it was too. It was bad, Pat. I know I got to earn the fans' trust back, and I know that we got bad situation right now, and we got to do our best to make this better so that we can get people in the seats. He goes, I get it. You're gonna get other fans in the stadium, and that's something we're dealing with right now. And what I just couldn't do it.
Like he said, though, once they boycotted that last game, they meant for real. They wasn't bluffing. You seen like 50 or 60 cars out there, a couple of gazebos. That's basically it.
Nope.
What's going on, Miz?
What's going on, Miz?
What's going on, guys?
Miz,
how are you, Joe? Where were you today, Joe? I wanted to get you on. You didn't. Where were you?
Sorry, bro. I had some things pop up, and
that's all right.
I did watch the replay. Great. I loved it.
Sorry, I wanted to hit the like button. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think Ryan Poles will be the best GM that we can hire, but it looks like he's gonna fall off. It's gonna be between Ortiz, Joe Schoen, and maybe some candidate comes out the blue and maybe he gets a shot.
What about Ed Dobbs?
That's probably the guy that comes out of nowhere and he gets a major push.
Isn't he getting an interview with the Bears though right now?
Yeah, he just had the interview.
He already did.
Yeah, he just had the interview, and they interviewing the Bills assistant that you talked about over there.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask this question then, because I know everybody likes Dodds. Do you think that the Bears are a little bit more attractive now because they've got Fields who's only been there 1 year, whereas we've got DJ that's been here 3 and you still don't know what he is?
I'll answer that.
I don't think so.
Matter of fact, go ahead, big Pat.
You got to answer it as a regular person, not a Giants fan. If you're a Giants fan, you always
as a regular.
Giants more.
That's what I'm trying to do.
As a regular person,
they strictly real. Hold on. They strictly cleaning house.
Yeah, hold on, big fella. He said,
"Okay,
you gotta be real with yourself. I know you're a Giants fan, but you gotta be real with yourself. They have a better quarterback.
Yeah,
I know Justin Fields is better than Daniel Jones. You can look at it and tell. I know he is. They have a stable running back in Montgomery. Yes, their offensive line is bad, but ours is worse. They have 2 good tight ends. We don't even have a tight end after this season. Their defense, they have 2 bookend defensive edge rushers. Quinn put up 20 sacks without Khalil Mack even being there. So imagine what they're going to do when Khalil Mack gets back. Then you have a legit middle linebacker in Roquan Smith, who's a perennial all-pro Pro Bowler. You have 2 very good defensive tackles. You got Dana Trevathan as the other middle linebacker, and Ogletree seems to want to play with them. He actually plays decent with the Bears. You have 2 up-and-coming corners on both sides, and Johnson and the other guy, I forgot his name, but they're 2 very good corners.
There's one thing they don't.
You have Eddie Jackson, who's one of the best safeties in the league. So you already have a ready-made defense. You got all the pieces you need on defense.
That's
you got an up-and-coming quarterback who I believe can be an absolute star. All you need to do is put an offensive line in front of them, and that job is probably the best job you could get out of those.
They need a receiver because Allen Robinson is not coming back.
I get that, but
you don't want to be franchise tag.
Justin Fields is the type of quarterback that if you put an offensive line in front of him, and he already has a decent receiver in Mooney, he's up and coming as well. Give him
that's just one guy.
Give him a possession receiver and watch him work. Give him a receiver that can move the chains because they got 2 good tight ends. Even if they let Jimmy Graham go, they got 2 good tight ends. They can move those chains. And Montgomery is a beast. We've seen what Montgomery can do when he's healthy. I promise you, that job is very, very nice. And I'm telling you, if they hire that dude from Brian Flores, you thought the Dolphins defense played well when he went those 7 games in a row? Look what he can do.
What's up, Jeffrey?
Defense. What's going on, Jeff? What's going on, Adam?
That
Bears
defense is going to be scary if he comes in.
Like, you can't tell me that Bears job is not a better job right now. They have a better roster, bro, and a better quarterback.
But like you said, though, once the new GM gets in, he might want to be like Khalil Mack, take a pay cut. If not, they might get the they might cut the cords off him. Then you got to look at Hicks, Khalil Mack. They paid him a lot of money.
Not cutting the cords on Khalil Mack. Not what. The reason why they're not going to cut the cords on Khalil Mack, I'll say this: if they hire a defensive coach, that defense can be absolutely scary with Quinn and Khalil Mack on that edge. I'm telling you.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, though. But
that dude got 20 sacks, and you knew he was the only guy that was coming in there. You knew it. And he still got 20 sacks this year. Imagine what Khalil Mack on the other side, what those 2 dudes are going to do. I promise you, that job right there is a very good job.
That's why
the right person to come in there and fix that offensive line. And if Dobbs You just said Dobbs was the best at fixing offensive lines. Right?
Exactly.
Only thing that holds them back is we got their first round pick this year. That's the only thing that's holding them back. But if they straight go in the second round with an offensive lineman, what's going on, Tony B? Yeah, you can come in.
Tony
B, I remember you from last time.
How's your wife doing, Miz?
Good. She's inside.
She's all right.
Not only that, right now
she got COVID.
Yeah, she is sick.
Oh shit!
I mean, if that's what they want to call it, I call it a winter cold or whatever you want to call it.
Well, sitting right now, without cutting anybody, without working a contract right now, the Bears have $45 million in cap space. The way things are sitting right now, we have $3 million. Sitting right now, we have $3 million. Next year, sitting right now.
Yeah, so the
you
Bears
tell me with $45 million in cap space,
so we got
defense
to
that's ready.
We got to do some dealing and dealing.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me a team that's a ready-made defense, because it's ready. All they need is motivation and a little bit of help. They're ready to go. And a quarterback that you can see that has major talent, a running back that's decent in this league, probably top 10 when he's healthy. And a receiver that's up and coming.
Saquon is the best running back in this league when he's healthy. He just needs a line.
He hasn't been healthy. He just hasn't been healthy.
He hasn't had a line.
I'm going off what we got right now. I can't say that. Who knows what Saquon Barkley is going to do? Is he going to get hurt again next year? Who knows? I know one thing. Montgomery has been playing in games, and he's been productive. I'll tell you that.
More than Barkley.
And if you put an offensive line with Justin Fields and Montgomery and get them a decent receiver, you got $45 million before you do anything. What if Khalil Mack say, man, I'm ready? And he restructures his deal and they get another $15 million.
Right.
Because they can do that. So you got $61 million to play. You think they can't bring a top receiver in there and get 2 good offensive linemen and then draft one in the second round?
Right.
Ed Dobbs.
Or third round.
If they hire Brian Flores and do what they're supposed to do with that offensive line, so people going to be in trouble in Chicago.
Right.
Because that defense is legit. That job is more interesting than coming to a situation where you're in cap held. You're going to have to restructure contracts and everything just to make money to sign your draft picks. Not to get free agents, just to sign your draft picks.
Your draft picks by itself is like $15 million.
Right. Then you coming behind the worst offensive line in football. You don't know what you got in your quarterback. Your main running back is always hurt. Your main receivers have been hurt. You don't know if you want to keep Kenny Galladay. Now the defense is in limbo because we don't know if Patrick Graham is coming back. You don't have a main edge rusher. You don't have middle linebackers that you can depend on constantly.
Do you see this shit? Highlight this comment.
Which one?
Giants clown. Bottom one.
Saquon hasn't been healthy since Thriller. If the Bills pony up, he gone.
What? Saquon Barkley wasn't born when Thriller came out.
Thriller was 1983 or 84, wasn't it?
Make your analogies make sense. We talk about our running back.
But your main DB is Bradbury.
That's messed up. I think he need a psych evaluation.
So I think the Bears' job, to be honest with you, just thinking as a normal person and not a Giants fan, the Bears' job is better.
That's the only time I get aggravated on these streams is when people get on here and forget, act like they forgot what Saquon Barkley did his first season in the league. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had an offensive line on this team in 10 years, and he was able to get over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. Okay, you can't tell me with an offensive line. You can't tell me that with an offensive line that blocks worth a damn, this dude ain't a game changer.
Since we talking about Saquon Barkley, can I? Since we talking about Saquon Barkley, real quick, jump in real fast on this Saquon. I'm thinking any of y'all hypothetically, let's say any of y'all was hired right now as a new Giants GM, would you want one of your first moves to come in and get rid of a guy like Saquon Barkley?
Fuck no.
Like, would you really want that to be one of your first moves?
Hey, Saquon.
Listen,
I say
I'm
you
not
do
gonna.
that, you might
Well,
go
depends who you
put
get.
a around the neck.
Hold on. Everybody's talking at one time. We can't have that. Hold on.
Look, I can understand why we got rid of Odell Beckham. You know what I'm saying? As much as I liked his playmaking ability, he was problems off the field, his interviews with Lil Wayne and shit that he would say about the quarterback. You can't have that on the team. Saquon Barkley is the complete opposite. Saquon Barkley is humble. He doesn't throw anybody under the bus. He takes the blame, even when it's not his fault. He's a leader. And the kid is a generational talent. That's the only thing Dave Gettleman got right the whole time he was here, was when he said this is a once-in-a-lifetime running back. You put a line in front of that man and give him a chance. You don't come here and trade away your best player. You will lose the fan base immediately if your first move is to come in here and trade the best player.
No, not the new guys. Not the fan base is not going to get mad at all, man.
I'm not going to shop him. I'm not going to shop him, but I'm gonna listen for. I'm not going to shop him, Lou. But here's what I will do: if the Bills called me with a second and a fourth, I'm going to think about it. I'm not going to shop him. A second and a fourth.
Second and a fourth. Gone. Bye-bye. He's getting traded. Man.
Again.
And when we play him, he will slice and dice.
We don't never want to play him. He's in the AFC East. We never
he's in the AFC. There's only maybe a couple of games.
They're gonna make a Giants play the revenge game.
No, he didn't.
And stick it to us.
Y'all forgot that the Giants played the Bills in the Super Bowl, and Thurman Thomas ran for damn near 200 yards on us.
That was designed.
That was planned. That
was a design.
I know that was designed, but if you design some shit like that with Saquon Barkley, you think you're gonna be able to stop him like we stopped Thurman Thomas? No,
it's not about that.
Thurman Thomas wasn't no slouch though, bro.
You're not gonna rebuild this team unless you trade him, man. You gotta get real.
I'll be right back.
He was a monster, but he didn't have the ability that Saquon has to cut and juke on a dime like that. He was a beast. I love Thurman Thomas, but a Saquon Barkley, he was not.
He's still Saquon's still a young player too, man. He's not like some old man that's already washed. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm always a big fan of his, all the way going back to Penn State. You know what I mean? I've always been such a big fan of his, and I am one of the Giant fans that was absolutely happy that we took Saquon Barkley, because when you get a shot, take the best player in the draft class, sometimes you got to just take that swing. You know what I mean? So at the same time, the injuries, it hasn't worked out perfectly. But at the same time, at the New York Giants and the past previous regime hadn't exactly done anything to make this work out properly either. So I'm just saying, maybe you get somebody in here fresh that can put the right pieces on this team and get everything going in the right way. Saquon Barkley is I think, a special talent to already have in your back pocket already. That's just my opinion on that.
Giants Clown says Saquon's first season was 3 years ago. He's barely stayed on the field since then, and taking a running back at 2 is never the right thing, brother. Listen, I believe it was a boneheaded move to take him number 2 overall, but we all know why they did it. They wanted to try to force another player for Eli to make one more push before he retired. That was a Mara move. That was straight from the top. Okay, so we got him. We had nothing to do about it because it came straight from on high. But once you get a player like that, you don't give him away for a glass of milk and cookies. Fuck that. I'm sorry.
Hold on, Lou.
You gotta
hold on, big fella. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you get yours out, and then I'm gonna give my.
You brought up a good point about the Odell Beckham situation. Once he did that interview with Lil Wayne, basically he said he sealed his fate. Yeah. Eli got a dead on, but that dead on is something that my mama and grandma always say. You never bite the hand that feeds you. That dead on got you that $100 million.
He ain't been the same since, neither has he.
What's up, Pat? Can you hear me?
What up, Nate?
Yeah, what's going on, Nate?
Good to see you.
Let me give you my answer on that. A lot of people might not like it. But if the Buffalo Bills call me and they say they give me a second and fourth for Saquon Barkley,
he said dirty daddy. I'm sorry, Pat. Yo, Giants Clown is hilarious. Go ahead.
I'm taking that call, and I'm probably not even going to consider it. I'm probably going to do it.
Yeah.
The reason why is the guy's been here for 4 years, Lou, and he's been hurt for 3.5 of them. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And the Giants
Our
are trying to do a
offensive
total
line has
clean.
been the worst offensive line for the last 7 years at least.
That's cool, but that has nothing to do with him getting hurt. I could see
I mean,
if
he
his
ain't been
production
hurt
was
because of the
low.
line.
Right, I could see if his production was just low, but he's been getting hurt. And so, what if you come back and you just waste $7 million more dollars, and he gets hurt, and then you're gonna be in pressure to re-sign him? His value has just went up just a little bit because towards the end of the season he made a little push. You mean to tell me that you want to take a second round, a fourth round pick for Saquon Barkley to where you can build off? We'll have 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, a fifth, and a sixth.
I would not. I would pick up his 4th-year option. I mean, his 5th-year option.
It's already been picked up.
It's already been picked up.
Guys, we're talking about a second and a fourth for Saquon Barkley. You're not going to get a third for Saquon Barkley in this market. We can talk about how great he's been and what his potential is all we want. The guy's coming off a devastating knee injury, and for the entire year, the tape doesn't lie. He didn't look the same. He's started to look a little bit like a shade of Saquon at the end of the year, but we're fooling ourselves here, guys. Saquon Barkley is not going to get anything. And we're talking about how that makes it attractive for a GM. Dude, if your best selling point for a new general manager is a high-ceiling running back that hasn't produced off of injuries in the last 2 years since his rookie year, you got problems. And I understand his line's been stuck. He is sucked. I understand that. It's bad. It's unfortunate for Saquon. But at the same time, you're looking at a running back with a career-threatening knee injury. That's not a recipe for big value. It's just not. So when you're looking at trading Saquon Barkley, I actually agree with Lou that our best move is probably to keep him, just because I don't think we're going to get anything for him.
I will keep
but
him.
I'm not agreeing for the same reason, because you're not going to get anything for the guy.
You're not agreeing for the same reason. But,
Dude,
I mean, as long as we're keeping him for the 5th year, paying him for cheap, and then if he turns out to be the stud that we thought he could be, then you cross that bridge when you get there. But at least you get a year out of it.
Ash says a team might think they're running back away and overoffer. Over-offering for Saquon's market value right now is probably a third.
Running back away.
That's over-offering.
I'm gonna tell you this, Nate. You're misjudging the market all wrong with this.
You think so?
I know you're doing it. You know why?
Okay.
Because Buffalo does feel that they're a running back. What if Buffalo goes to the playoffs and let's say they play the Titans or they play somebody in the AFC Championship game, they couldn't run the ball, and Saquon Barkley is looking healthy. That second round pick doesn't mean shit to them. It doesn't. They're already a built team. And you mean to tell me I could give up a low second round pick for Saquon Barkley? Who's shown those last games, he was cutting on that knee and wasn't worried about cutting or anything. He was looking good. He was looking damn good. Some of those runs, I was like, oh shit, he's back. So imagine the Bills get him and they'd be like, that's the last piece. That's all we need right there. They would give us a second round pick. I promise you they would.
Here's my disagreement with that. First off, I don't think Saquon Barkley's name value carries that much anymore after last year. I think the name value is still something, but it's not, he's Saquon Barkley, so we'll give a second for him. And second off, the Bills' problems with running the ball is less about their running back and more about the fact they have a center that can't get beaten off the ball by a nose less than 20 times a game.
Well, you're going to get more for Barkley than the Panthers are going to get for C-Mac.
That's whatever. I have nothing to say on that.
Tell me this. Saquon Barkley on the Bills, does that make them a more dangerous team than they already are?
Which Saquon are you getting?
The Saquon now.
The rookie?
Maybe.
Saquon now. Maybe?
Maybe.
Y'all tripping because that dude has an offensive line in front of him. He's going to produce.
Well, that's the thing.
If he could get 102 yards behind this offensive line as it currently was, let him go over there to the Bills. I promise you he's going to shine.
You're talking like the Bills have much of a better run-blocking offensive line than we do. It's better than us, but just because we're terrible.
We have the worst offensive line in football. Everybody's line is better than ours.
Facts.
That's what I'm saying. I just said they have a better offensive line than ours, but only because we're terrible. The Bills' run blocking is not going to be that great.
Okay, so with their first-round pick, what if they get the best lineman available when they pick in the first round?
Man, if they get the best lineman available, it better be a center.
What if they traded up for Linderbaum?
It's not even
So
the
if
old
they're, if they're trading up for Linderbaum, what are they giving up that you're not talking about a second and
The
a fourth?
first and the first this year, first next year, and the third next year, and they go up to like 15.
That's a
Because
lot
they're
of what
probably
ifs.
gonna be
And if you're gonna say they're gonna do all that just to justify trading for Saquon Barkley, I don't know about that.
No, it's not just to justify. Let's say they get their offensive line better because they have more money than what we do. Say if they get a center in a free agency, that's pretty damn good. And he turns out to be pretty good.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this: Why is it in the Bills' best interest to trade that second and a fourth instead of just taking a rookie running back in the second?
Because a rookie running back is not going to do what Saquon can do for you.
You really think that Saquon at this point is that much better than the rookie running back?
Fuck
Yes.
yeah.
I disagree.
Hell yeah.
I disagree.
What?
Shit,
What
look at
rookie running back is
Saquon.
Najee
Look,
Harris
hold
from the store.
on. I'll give you this.
Hold on,
I'll give you this.
hold on,
Okay,
hold on.
yeah.
What rookie running back in this class can do anything?
I haven't
Saquon
scouted the
Barkley
running backs yet. I'm going off of what running backs are every year. There's always a good one or two in the late first, early second.
So you can't tell me which rookie running back. I tell you, the closest thing to Saquon Barkley in this rookie field is the boy from Cincinnati. He's pretty
Ford.
damn good. Jerome
Jerome
Ford.
Ford.
He's damn good.
Okay.
I'll give you the running back from UCLA, Chardonnay.
Okay.
He's pretty damn good.
Charbonnet.
But none of those running backs will be able to do what Saquon Barkley can do if healthy. That's a major if.
That's
If
the
healthy.
if.
That's the major if. I'll give you that. He has
All of this is assuming that Saquon Barkley is going to end up being the same guy.
I think he's already back.
I don't think so. I don't agree.
All right, next topic, gentlemen.
We're on a team of thousands.
We don't want to spend an hour talking about
What's
Barkley
going on,
possibly
Tim?
being traded.
Lou, we're Giants fans. All we do is spend hours talking about stuff that doesn't matter. That's what we are. That's our identity as a fan base, my man. You can't be attacking us like that. You can't come and attack us for what we do.
He said, hold on. Rodney says Saquon was dealt a bad hand with this team. He was not running with confidence earlier in the year. He got better later in the season. Give him a confident O-line, and he will produce.
So I agree with everything in that comment. I just don't think he's going to produce so much more than what they could get without the risk.
Oh shit! What happened to him?
What is that in the background? Oh, that's Joe's wife.
Somebody's
playing Among Us.
background.
Yeah, something.
Oh,
something going
my
on.
wife playing
Oh,
games
no.
again. She's over
Oh,
there
I'm
killing
sorry.
somebody. As long as
My
it
bad,
ain't me.
but I just feel like
Is it a
Saquon
monkey?
Barkley
Is it a monkey?
can still potentially be a very special player in this league.
Hey,
I
big
just,
fella.
I just feel like he can be.
I want to
He can be a
clarify
special
something.
player.
I want to make sure I'm not misunderstood here. I just want to make sure I'm absolutely clear. Saquon Barkley 100% can still be an absolute game-wrecking, game-changer, whatever adjective you want to describe. I'm just saying that at present moment, I don't think he is that. And we're talking about can be with another offseason of rehab, another offseason of strengthening, et cetera, et cetera. Sure, he could be. But for every Adrian Peterson, there's 100 other running backs that tear an ACL and just don't come back the same. All right? So I think that if you're going to look at Saquon Barkley and you're going to say you're going to trade a second and a fourth for him, it doesn't make sense considering the risk associated with making that deal on a running back that even if he does produce, you're going to have to pay him. Instead, you could take a guy that you like in the draft and get probably similar production in a pass-happy offense and not have to take on the risk of a guy that just tore his ACL.
I follow you. I follow you. You're not. I understand. You're not with the gambling. You don't want to. You wouldn't gamble on it.
Especially on the running back position in the Bills' offense.
But
I'll say this: that guy has more value than you think. I promise you, he does.
We'll see.
And if I'm a GM, if I'm the new GM and I'm the new head coach, if I could get assets for a player that I did not commit to, I never drafted him, he has no strings attached to me, and I'm coming here to rebuild something, I got to take a look at that if somebody's offering me the second and the fourth.
100% agree. 100% agree.
Got to take a look at that.
We'll see if you're right and Saquon Barkley's trade value is a second and a fourth, you will find no one happier to eat that crow than me. I will be psyched if we get a second and a fourth for Saquon Barkley. If that happens, I will come on your live stream and apologize to you and say how much of a genius you are for that, because that'll be spectacular.
With that second and a fourth, we can draft another lineman and then get whatever we want in the fourth. That would be amazing. I just don't think so.
Now, here's the next question that I like.
Ooh.
I'm going to start with Joe. We're going to go down. Jeffrey came up with a very good question. He said, are we building this offense around Saquon Barkley or Kadarius Toney? I'm going to let Joe handle it, then Lou, and then we'll go down the list.
I'll be right back.
Wow. Look, I don't know if I can give an answer right now. I mean, both are dynamic players in their own right. Barkley, we've really never seen outside of his rookie year. Tony, we only saw 10 games this year. So, all we have is a little bit of film on each player. We saw the end of Barkley. Barkley was looking a lot better. Every time we saw the injury report, Kadarius Toney was on there for a foot or a knee or a shoulder or a hip. It was always a rotating, it seemed, injury list. So, what kind of OC are we going to have in here? Are we going to have an offensive-minded coach or a defensive-minded coach? Who's the GM? As far as right now, I can't answer that question because there's too many unknowns. There's too much going on right now. We're just coming off a fire in the head coach and the GM, and we've got the office coming out, giving piss poor excuses, talking in a monotone voice, not pissed off at all. There's no emotion from him at all. We didn't hear anything from Steve Tisch. We don't know what the hell he's doing inside the office. We're only assuming, and I hate assuming. I honest to God, I don't know. I just got to see more with this team. I've got to see the pieces that we're going to put together to justify what we're going to do going forward. I mean, the defensive coordinator, the defense is up in the air. Offense is up in the air. Special teams is up in the air. Even the scouting department is up in the air right now. We got guys leaving there. And not only that, I heard today, and this pisses me off, that it hasn't been talked about. Chris Mara was in with his brother and Tisch to interview the GMs.
It was talked about by John Mara.
Well, Chris Mara was in there too. What the fuck is he doing in there?
No, I said that was actually a
heavyweight champion of the world. What's going on?
A reporter asked Mara about it and why he was in there. And he said, well, he doesn't have any authority. All the authority is with the GM and the head coach, always has been, always will be. He says, but he has a lot of talent scouting. He is part owner of the team, and I respect his opinion. That's why he was in there. But he has no authority. At the end of the day, the general manager, the head coach, and me and Steve Tisch have the final say. That was
by the way,
quote. Because somebody asked John Mara, why wouldn't he get Chris Mara, his brother, out of there, and his nephew out of there, and himself went back up and hire a GM to handle all the day-to-day operations? And he said, that's what we're trying to do. We want a general manager to handle all the day-to-day operations. He said, you're talking like we have a sway over the picks and the decisions that are made, and we do not. So we'll see if that's true or not.
By the way, this is a bit off topic, guys. Sorry. I just need it. I need you to feel this frustration that I'm feeling. Twitter is so ridiculous. Someone just asked who wins and put a picture of Devontae Adams next to Trayvon Diggs. That hurt my soul. That hurt my soul to see. That is, oh my God.
Adams all day, but
I don't even have words for that.
What do you think? Well, I probably know your answer already, but who do you think we should build around, Barkley or Toney, if we had to choose?
I mean,
Barkley has 21. I have a feeling that that's Saquon Barkley on the low. He said, let's move on and be happy. Quit bitching about Mara. Guy admitted faults. Cleaned house, and candidates we're looking at are great. Get over the presser. I wasn't
the presser's part of it, dude.
I was answering the question. He said, somebody said something about Chris Mara being in the interview. And I said, well, somebody already addressed it. A reporter actually asked John Mara. And then I went into paraphrasing what was said in that conversation. I wasn't bitching at all, Mr. Bark Nasty, because I'm not a bitch. I'm a man. I have a dick. There's no bitch parts about me. Let's get that straight.
Well said.
I don't bark behind the keyboard. I bark face to face.
Anyway, I think with the press conference thing, it's less about the fans being all whatever about the press conference and more about the fact that John Mary's been a terrible owner for so many years. And the fact that he's coming out to this press conference with fucking attitude towards us, of all people. Like, we're the fans, and the beat reporters are just trying to ask him questions. This man's coming up with random rules 5 minutes before his press conference that he's not even allowing to be live streamed. And this man's getting mad because we're pissed off at him. Dude, learn how to own your football team and learn how to not be a nepotist bastard, and maybe we won't be so mad at you. But in terms of the original question with Saquon Barkley or Kadarius Toney, I think at this point my answer is going to be predictable. But I would say Kadarius Toney just because I think it is a passing league, and almost all of the head coaching candidates and offensive coordinator candidates are coming from passing backgrounds, with the exception, of course, of the defensive guys, but that's a whole other conversation. So I think if you're looking at a guy like Brian Daboll, or you're looking at a guy like Joe Schoen as the assistant GM who's built that offense over there, I think it's fair to say that you're building it more around a star receiver and a quarterback combination than a running back. The only guy that comes to mind for an offensive coordinator that could possibly be on the market is Greg Roman. And Greg Roman is a remarkable football mind, absolutely. His running scheme is incredible. I just don't think that he's going to probably be our guy. It's tough to say. For me, though, I would tend to assume Kadarius Toney. He's younger. He doesn't have quite as much of a tough streak behind him for the Giants that Saquon has. The history isn't as bad. I think he's got a lot more promise at this point in the eyes of a lot of fans. I think it's a lot easier to take him and make him a piece of your offense than it would be with Saquon, who you're sort of, if he's going to be your focal point, he's going to have to be your offense. With Kadarius Toney, it's easier to just make your passing attacks coordinate around some of his best routes.
All right, Mac, what you think, man? What you think about between Toney and Barkley? Who should we build around?
I mean, I kind of agree with what Nate just said with the Kadarius Toney point. I mean, obviously, as much as I just spoke about, I love Saquon Barkley as well.
I'm not butthurt, Bark Nasty.
But I do agree with just being younger, just being able to do so many things that he can do offensively. I mean, Saquon can do a lot of things too in the receiving game and everything, but Kadarius Toney can literally pass the damn ball even if need be. So
QB1.
He's got a arm.
So it's a lot he can do, a lot he can bring to the table, and that's why I was disappointed this past season when he was healthy with just the lack of efficiency, man, because we can't figure out ways to get a guy with this kind of talent involved in the offense a lot more. So
and I want to sorry, I thought you were done. My bad.
I was just gonna say, and I just
Matt go, and then we're gonna go to
just like to see if they could
big fella.
Like to see if they could build around him with all the talent that he has. I would like to see him try to build around Kadarius Toney, because I think that kid has some special qualities too, special traits going distance, man. Especially if he can bulk up a little bit, get a little stronger, be able to handle some of the hits he's taking and stay a little more healthier.
And by the way, Kadarius Toney did have some injury problems. To the guy in chat that's saying that he did not tear his ACL, and he didn't have that long, massive rehab stint and come back looking like a shell of himself. So let's not compare those injury histories there. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Super Taj. That Taj going with someone. Big fella, go ahead.
Me, I'm an offensive lineman myself. I play arena football. If I have to, between Toney and Barkley, I'll still build on the running game.
Thank you.
Because the reason why you want to have that, you gotta have chemistry. You gotta have chemistry. I had an ACL tear. Thank God I'm still walking. It's just Saquon and the offensive line. You give him a good O-line, anything can happen. It's like you give a quarterback a good receivers or offensive line, magic.
Well, I will say this.
Then the same bracket. Like I said, Saquon Barkley behind a good offensive line, he might just show out.
I'm gonna say this with that question. No, I'm always gonna be different. I'm not choosing either one of them to build around. I'm building around Andrew Thomas. The reason why I say I build around Andrew Thomas, if I get a major offensive line that complements Andrew Thomas, I can have just about any running back I want in there as long as he's talented, and I can have just about any receivers out there as long as they're talented. Because with an offensive line, it doesn't matter how trash your quarterback is. If he can throw to a wide open receiver or he can move around in that pocket that somebody gets wide open, unless their name is Mike Glennon or Jake Fromm, he could probably get it to him.
God. That's what we need to be getting rid of immediately. They should have been fired before Joe Judge.
And
I was going to say one more thing about Barkley real quick. My bad. Because it kind of eats at me a little bit when people talk about Saquon Barkley and say all he had was we all know he had an amazing rookie season, great numbers, great statistics. His second year, he missed those few games. He came back a little sooner than he probably should have that year from the injury. But he still finished the season admirably and did get over the 1,000-yard rushing mark. So it's not like he did absolutely nothing his second season either. So when people keep saying he hadn't done anything since his rookie season, that's kind of a false narrative. You know what I mean? So
that's fair.
You know, so I just one more thing to just keep an account about Saquon Barkley, man. I'm just at the same time, you get the right offer. I hear what y'all saying. You get the right phone call, the right offer. You gotta do what's best for your team overall. But at the same time, I just think this guy's got a lot of special football left in him, and I'm just
fair. That's fair.
Not want to miss out.
I understand that. Yeah.
Who's that? Adam?
Yes, sir. That's Adam. That's
What's up, man?
Mr. Costas.
What's up, Adam?
Hey, fellas.
Adam, you there?
He lost his voice shouting for joy when Joe Judge got fired, and his back probably hurts from all the back somersaults he did. As soon as the news broke.
I would like to, if y'all don't mind, I want to just take a different stab at this. We're talking about who we want to build around, and I want to just ask y'all a question. So with this quarterback class, obviously QB is the most important position on the field, and with a new general manager and head coach combo coming in, it is a distinct possibility that Daniel Jones won't be the signal caller next year, for better or worse. Yep. But in this situation, we understand Daniel Jones is a guy that has shown a lot, and maybe we might feel some kind of way, but let's assume for the moment that he's not our QB next year. All right? We don't want to pick up that option. We're trying to build from scratch. New GM wants a clean slate. This coming year, how do we feel about getting an offensive coordinator and a head coach that actually know how to run an offense and drafting a boomer bust prospect like Malik Willis? That's my question to y'all.
Read Miggy's last comment.
In like the second round, definitely.
But people kept talking over him, so he left the stream. Look at what he just wrote. Yo, next time I come on there, I'm talking over all of y'all. Be ready. You won't be able to deal with me.
Yeah, man, that's why I've been cutting down the show.
I guess you have to let the GM.
This is what I'm finna do.
I mean, if he comes in here and he falls in full bloom love with Malik Willis, then that's what they're gonna do. I mean, you have 10 picks now.
He's not.
Malik
Willis, he's not fully developed yet. And look what conference he played in. He played against one SEC conference and got handled.
Mm-hmm.
He's another Lamar. He's another Lamar Jackson.
Here's my thing about Malik Willis. This is a guy that I, for all season, was saying to a lot of Daniel Jones haters who wanted him. This is a guy that I said all season we should not be drafting for the simple reason of our offensive staff had no idea what they were doing, and I knew for a fact that this is a guy that, like you said, needs to be developed. He needs to be put in an offensive system that will use his skill set and try and help develop his weaknesses instead of exposing him. And we knew Jason Garrett, Joe Judge, not going to do that. Not going to work out. He's going to be a bust. But with this new staff coming in, I think you're looking at a guy that has a lot more talent than you see in any given player. And I think with a guy like Malik Willis, you have a unique opportunity there to get in on a quarterback that sort of has both skill sets in the sense that there's the two archetypes, the running quarterback and the strong arm quarterback. And this dude has both in spades. As I believe it was a sophomore at Auburn, he ran a 4.37. And he said he's definitely faster now. So those are going to be numbers to watch. And the dude can throw on the run. The off-platform throws are money. He's got technical stuff to work out. He's got mechanical stuff to work out. That's a lot of the sources of some of the accuracy problems. And clearly, the mentals need to be developed. But I think we're in a position now with a lot of the guys that are in this market, this head coach GM cycle. They have been the ones that have taken raw quarterbacks like Josh Allen, like Lamar Jackson, and developed them into game changers. So I think, I wouldn't necessarily be banging on the table for it, but it's definitely something we need to consider now.
All right, here's
ain't no wrong about.
Well, I mean, the hype train is coming through.
Yo, hold on, guys. This is what we finna do. We're gonna cut this down a little bit. I'd like to thank
Just
you
saying,
guys
damn
for
Jeremiah
coming in.
hasn't gotten his hands on these guys yet. Wait till he's promoted to push them up the draft boards. That's how usually these things work. It's we don't know about these quarterbacks, and then all of a sudden the combine happens, Senior Bowls happen, and then all the next thing you know, the hype goes. And if Malik Willis, any of the you said, then I will bet that when these guys like Jeremiah and Mayock start to really dive in, they're going to be like, these are the quarterbacks I love. And a lot of those, you watch those opinions very highly. So, I mean, think about Daniel Jones, right? If we're going to compare him to that, nobody knew anything about it. He went to the Combine, Senior Bowl, great comp and throwing, had a great day, and then was the MVP of the Senior Bowl, right? And so he was then drafted. It kind of propelled him to where he was drafted in this status. And I think Malik Willis has more than Daniel Jones in terms of overall ability. So if that's the case, no one wants what happened with Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. They don't want to be those guys who are going to sit back in a few, like, man, we had a chance to take that guy and we let him go. So,
yo, Pat.
Yeah, hey, hold on. Right after that comment, Adam.
In the chat.
Hold on. We're ready to cut this down a little bit. Big fella, I'd like to thank you for coming on tonight, bro. You're welcome back anytime. About the 1 hour, 30-minute mark. TD, what's going on? You already know you can come in at any time, big fella. I enjoyed talking with you tonight. I'm going to cut it down a little bit.
I agree with your take. I don't know who you are, Nate. Nice meeting you. But I agree with you, Malik Willis. I think it's intriguing prospect. When you have the new getting in, we don't know what they're.
Pop me off for a second. Oh, well, shit.
Go ahead, big fella. Sorry.
Big fella's gone.
Big fella's gone. Tony B, you there?
I didn't know.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, Tony, you there?
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what GM has in store. You never know what they're going to do. They may fall over the quarterback.
He said,
and if
Tony
they do,
B,
they'll take one.
Adam.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, I totally agree with both those takes. I totally agree with both those takes, though, Adam. The Malik Willis situation, though, guys, I don't think that kid's ready, man.
He might not be. He might not be. That's fair.
I don't think he's ready. Whenever he plays top competition, I don't think he's ready to play top competition yet.
Nate, every time I see him against
Friday,
legit.
Where you located, Nate? Are you an hour ahead of me, or are you at the same time?
I am in the Eastern time zone.
So same time as me.
Same time as everybody else up here.
Friday, is the pick is in. Friday, the college takes.
Hell yeah.
Talk with Joe over it. With Joe, we'll see what we're gonna do, but more than likely probably 8 o'clock.
Perfect.
So 9 o'clock our time, Nate.
Yeah, 9 your time.
Got it.
So I will see you 9 Friday.
So we doing that live or pre-recorded?
See, that's what I got to talk it over with Joel about, because I'm thinking pre-recorded.
That feels better.
Get it taken down. Yeah, I think it pre-recorded. So I'll definitely holler at you on Twitter tomorrow and Friday at 9.
Perfect.
Well, if we're going to pre-record it, we're going to want to do it earlier and then
and then release it at 9. Yeah.
So you guys want to do it around 7, because it'll be like 6 my time.
Well, we want to make sure that gives you time to do whatever you got to do, but also editing it and everything, Pat.
Yeah.
I mean, we might want to do it like on a Thursday at 7.
Oh, so you want to do a pre-recorded Thursday, and then I'll put it out on Friday?
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be a little easier.
Tomorrow around 7 your guys' time, then we'll do it.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about the edge rushers, all right?
Hell yeah. My favorite topic.
Yeah.
All right. So I got some hitters for y'all. Y'all better come with it.
I'm ready. You know I'm ready.
I will see you tomorrow then, Nate, okay? Peace out.
Peace out.
Hey.
Adam.
Yeah.
Adam.
He might have to step away to the baby.
Okay. Oh, shit, I lost track of what the hell we're supposed to be talking about. Yeah.
Well, we were talking about Barkley. We were talking about
Kadarius Toney.
And yeah.
Well, my take on that,
and then it was Malik Willis.
This is what I want to ask Adam. Adam, you there? You back?
Adam.
I can't hear Pat, so if he's addressing something to me, I can't. I'm sorry.
Why is it always like that? He can't hear me, but he can hear everybody else. That's crazy.
I don't know.
Refresh.
Ask him. Ask him. Me refresh the StreamYard.
Well, you might
because I can hear everybody, but he can't hear me.
Oh, he left, so maybe he's going to pop back in.
When I first started.
So
hopefully it pops back in. But the thing with the Saquon Barkley thing, don't get me twisted and think that I'm saying that Saquon Barkley is not worth being here. Adam, can you hear me?
I understand where you're coming from. It was the way that comment was written that got under my skin a little bit. But, you know, he said in the chat what he meant. I just took it the wrong way because I'm like, you know, they like he ain't been healthy since Thriller. Like he's just been a bum. Like he was a bust when we drafted him. That shit kills me. Then, you know, that's the one thing that really upsets me about the NFL. You'll take a kid out of college, he'll play his heart out for you. He gets injured and you throw him away like a fucking piece of trash. I can't stand that shit. You know what I'm saying?
That is the NFL, unfortunately, for us these days.
I know.
Hey, somebody asked Adam if the Bills offered you a second and fourth round.
I hear you now. I hear you, Pat.
Oh, you hear me? Okay, cool. Now, there was a scenario offer earlier. I would like to get your take on it because you're down with the fresh rebuild. And I say with a fresh rebuild, that means everybody can leave. So what if somebody came and offered you a second round and a fourth round pick for Saquon Barkley? Would you take it?
I know, Steven.
That's tough. I mean, yes, I would probably take the asset because if anything's been shown, we find not necessarily a run back at his caliber, but we can find a capable run back in the draft. And with that second and fourth round pick, if you're adding it to this year's draft, I'm assuming you're adding it to this year's draft, that gives us what? Another 2 picks in the top 100. I'm sure you're going to find a running back in those. So I would do it if I can get assets. I doubt someone could. And for me, if I was them, I would consider everything. But you also have to consider this: they want to keep them because they need some playmakers on the team. You know, we always want to get rid of guys, but we never think about how good they are and what they've done. You know, Barkley is a weapon, and if I'm a new GM coach, I would first like to sit down and see if I can, you know, utilize him in whatever offense I'm going to be, you know, running here. And then if I've exhausted all those possibilities, then yes, you know, I would take the assets for him.
Okay, so that I mean I'm with that as well because if you some miracle we do get a second and fourth round pick for Saquon, that means we got 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, and I think a fifth and a sixth. Because I don't know if we have 2 fifths. I think we got 2 thirds, 2 fourths, and 2 firsts. But with that,
we got rid of one of the fourths.
Yeah, you had 2 fourths because we could pick it up an extra fourth for Barkley, a second and a fourth. So we had 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, 2 fourths.
If anyone thinks they're going to get a first round pick, they're not.
Right.
No, I wouldn't think that either. But I agree too. Everything y'all just said, like it's a business, so I understand you got to do what's best for your team ultimately. And if you get an offer that's that good for Saquon Barkley, then you gotta really strongly consider it, if not take it. I just like I said, how I also feel about him is still a young kid who I think is still
has a lot of upside.
a generational talent that can still just be a very special player. And sometimes it's hard to give up on talent like that. I mean, that's just my take on Saquon Barkley. His talent is just undeniable, and I just
let me ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
Who would you rather keep, Jones or Barkley? That would be the question I would want to ask. Is which one do you think has more? Okay, so Barkley. So that would be, yeah. So I mean, while I want the 2 and the 4, if I had to choose between the 2 guys, I'm getting rid of Daniel Jones first before I get rid of Barkley.
Most definitely.
I mean, Joe, I don't know who you think that you would get rid of first, Barkley or Jones. I know your answer.
I'm thinking.
Keep it both.
Well, here's the thing: is I'm trying to keep it into a context of I'm the new GM or I'm the new coach. Okay, and which is going to be easier right now to replace, Jones or Barkley? That's my dilemma, because we looked at the free agent quarterback market. There's not much there. We have limited cap room. You're going to save more if you get rid of Barkley, but you're going to have a better running back if you get rid of Jones. Which is easier to replace in this draft? You need offensive linemen with the first 2 picks. I can get a running back in the 3rd and the 4th and get one of them to work. There's more to it than just look. If Barkley had been here and he's putting up 800 to 1,000 yards the last 2-3 years, all right, and he's healthy and he's doing dynamic shit, I'm not getting rid of him. But with him being injured, and people want to get rid of Daniel Jones because he's injured. If he's not on the field, we're just spending money that could be used in another place. If realistically thinking outside the box, not as a fan, as a football person, Barkley has not been there for us the last 3 years. He wasn't here this year. He wasn't here last year, and he really wasn't the following year. You can say
he's only. Well, yeah, go ahead.
I'm just going to say, if you look at Jones, yeah, you know what? It's not much better. But I don't believe that the new offensive coordinator is going to take Daniel Jones and make him run RPOs. I could see bootlegs. I can see play action. I can see rolling him out. Those are the things that he's good at. So if you keep him in the back, you put a line in front of him, which player do you think is going to be here for 17 games, Barkley or Jones? So, if you look at everything, we're paying Barkley $7 million. And we're not even picking up Daniel Jones's contract, for 5th year.
This is DJ's 4th year next season.
Yes, exactly. So he's probably gone. Let him take the
you can play him for that 4th year, and build the O-line and the defensive trenches, and then when you go to draft a quarterback, you've already
exactly, because you've got 2 running backs already in the backfield. You got an offensive line that knows the playbook. You got running backs that know the playbook. You've got wide receivers that know the playbook. You got a pretty good defense. And now when you do bring in another quarterback the following year, all right, you got a team pre-made. So which is it better to get rid of, Barkley or Jones? That's why I'm sitting here thinking.
That is true. If you just
sorry.
Go ahead, Adam.
No, I guess when you say that, Joel, and you look at it from a 1,000-foot view, you're probably right. Probably easier to get rid of Barkley and keep Jones of the year and develop him, because worst case scenario, you franchise him next year if he does well, right? And then you don't have to worry about your quarterback because you got him already on the roster. Now, if he stinks, you're letting him go anyways. And you're probably going to be in the top, let's say, 10 to get a quarterback anyways. And at that point, you can always decide what you want to do there. So, I mean, logically, you're probably right. Probably keeping Jones is the lesser of 2 evils, because, if he does well, you have your franchise guy, right?
Right.
If he doesn't do well, you don't have to worry about spending the money, because he'll just go to another team.
Right.
And you don't take a hit.
Right. So the question is with Daniel Jones, though, on the other flip side, if you want to look at a GM perspective, Daniel Jones is due that 5th-year option, I believe, in May.
Yes.
Give it to him by May. So you have to take it in accountability of this. What if he does shine, but you don't want to give him that 5th-year option this year? You don't give him that 5th-year option. Now you have to pony up the 40 to 45 million to pay him immediately instead of having that extra year of the 1 year only 21 million. So that's the major question. Do you give Daniel Jones that 5th-year option going into the season, even though you don't feel that he's the franchise quarterback? But if he turns out to play well, you have to pay him immediately if you don't give him that 5th-year option. On the other hand, if you do give him that 5th-year option and he doesn't turn out to be well, now you have to pay him $21 million next year, and he sucks.
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
But
So
here's
that's the
thing.
And this is where I say, right? This was his 4th season. Okay.
Yes.
You pick up the 5th-year option with Barkley with an incentive. No, Barkley's in his. This was his 4th.
They've already picked up his 5th-year option. $7.2 million.
Yeah,
we're talking about Jones.
Well, no, we've already basically all agreed that it would be better to keep Daniel Jones and build the line around him, because if he plays well next year and you sign him, you're good. If he plays bad, you cut him and you're not taking a hit. Now, this is why I say with Barkley, if you pick up the 5th-year option, which we already have, right? You incentivize it. You say, look, this is your 1-year prove-it deal, basically. We're going to fix the O-line, okay? And we're going to give you a shot to prove that your knee is 100%. You've had 2 years of rehab now, okay? We're going to fix the O-line, get an offensive coordinator in here that knows how to freaking use you, Kadarius Toney, and Daniel Jones. So if you make these mile markers here within the season, then we come back and we work on a deal. If you don't, it's bye-bye. But don't just come in here and fucking trade them away when you never built the O-line for them. Sit down and have a man-to-man conversation. It is his problem as the general manager of the team, because if you trade him away and then you draft a running back that sucks ass and gets hurt and suffers the same injury, then you just did us a disservice. Whereas you sit down at the table and you say, look, we're going to pick up your 5th-year option, right? We're going to incentivize this deal like this and this.
It's already
if you hit. I know, but I'm saying you incentivize it because you're the new GM. You
can incentivize it. That's guaranteed, Lou.
Right.
Guaranteed $7.2 million.
But you can give an incentive that's not written in the contract and say, look, if you do well and you run for over 1,000 yards and you get another 1,000 yards, you run for 2,000 yards scrimmage, then we'll fucking sign you. You don't, you're out of here. That don't have to be in a contract. That can be a verbal agreement.
I know exactly how Lou is feeling right now. And you guys have witnessed me doing it with Daniel Jones. This is his fan right now. I get it. No, seriously, it is. Lou is a fan of Saquon Barkley so bad that it's hard for him to let go, just like it is with me.
Guy. That's my
guy,
like
with me with Daniel Jones. And that's the problem.
Well, I'm going
to tell you what. I'm going to tell you what.
Easy.
Fuck you, Joe.
Okay.
Ever since he was at Penn State, I've been a Saquon guy. Ever since he was at Penn State, I was a Saquon guy. Straight up. I was ecstatic when we drafted him.
I love all the Giants, right? As long as they wear the blue, right? And some even after, I cheer for them if they went somewhere else. But
yes.
I've never owned 3 of their jerseys. Saquon Barkley is the only fucking player in the history of my life that I've bought 3 of their fucking jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You bought home, away, in the color rush?
Well, I don't have the color rush. I have the old-fashioned Giants one, and then I have a red one and a blue one.
So you got what?
The white with the 2 red stripes. The old-fashioned one.
I respect Barkley.
I'm gonna tell you guys this. I said think of it as a GM.
Since 2018.
Yeah, I said think of it as a GM. If I'm the new GM,
No, I understand.
I don't give a shit about nobody on this roster right now. I came here to rebuild something. That was my job.
That's also facts.
And that's where a lot of people have been fucking up with this organization, because you want to have loyalty to these people who may be undoubtedly hurting you, because that guy getting injured that many times is not helping you. You keep building plans around a guy that keeps not being available for you to run that plan. Those are the worst type of guys that you can have on your team. Talented individuals, but they never play because they're always hurt. They kill you. You keep going into season after season after season. Man, we finna get it done. Man, we got Saquon Barkley. Oh, no, we don't. He got hurt.
Right.
Man, we finna kill this year. We got this offensive line. Saquon Barkley go. Oh, wait a minute. Damn, he tore his ACL again? So now you got to have a backup plan because you didn't really have a backup plan because you were so going forward with this guy, but he continues to get hurt on you.
But can we all agree
this year to let you down?
Excuse me real quick for a second, Pat. Can we just all agree, though, that his injury that he got this year was the absolute flukiest injury?
Yes.
That could have happened.
Yes.
100%.
Even though it's a fluke, it happened.
Right.
Right.
Fluke or not, it happened. He missed games.
This guy seems to have
crucial
bad luck,
games.
Right.
Yeah, I'll be back, man. Shit.
Yeah, Lou's mad at
I do got one more question for the
mean,
panel. I was going to say, I just have a question for everybody about Daniel Jones, actually, since we was talking a little bit about him, too. You think with the new GM coming in, is Daniel Jones' overall reputation gonna affect a decision being made about him? Because he, let's face it, does not have a good overall reputation around the league outside the organization. So you think a new GM coming in is going to take that into consideration as well?
Who you want?
What do you mean by his reputation?
Like his reputation overall as not necessarily being a franchise guy, as overdrafting him, you know what I mean? And people outside the organization seem to a lot of people outside the organization seem to agree that we overdrafted Daniel Jones and that he's just not that great of a quarterback. Do you think the GM would take those outside things into consideration, you know what I mean, coming in with his decision making on Daniel Jones going forward?
I don't know who wants to go first, but if I go first, Adam, you want to go first?
Sure. I guess they'll have their own viewpoint because if they've been an executive, they'll have their own draft record of Daniel Jones. And what they'll probably do is they'll go back and see where they thought he was going to be drafted in the 2019 draft, see if his notes, match up with what they got, and then make that evaluation. Now, if they think that Malik Willis is a better prospect right now than Daniel Jones, and you take Malik Willis and you don't worry about Daniel Jones. So does his reputation precede him? Sure, it's gonna be there that way. Remember, Pat just said no one's married to this staff, so they're gonna want their guy to hang their hat on. And if Daniel Jones does what Daniel Jones does, and that's get injured, are you going to want to be that GM that has to work around not having your quarterback and being stuck with this guy? So
prime time,
what's going on?
Hey, prime time. Yes.
Prime time.
Okay.
Hey, look, go ahead, Joe.
I got 2 cents to throw in this pot because I could feel you guys when I said who to keep, Jones or Barkley. I could feel the pressure. Here goes Joel on off one of his wild fucking nut job tirades. Okay, I could feel that. I better put this in good wording, man, because I'm going to get killed. Listen, with Daniel Jones right now, what's the biggest outside of the whole team? The biggest thing, and we all agree right now, is fix the O-line. If quarterback was the serious question, you take one. But if you don't have guys for anybody coming in here for that position, I just don't know how you can look at quarterback right now, looking at how pissed off the fans are right now. And if you don't bring offensive linemen in here, either free agency or the draft, this fan base is going to blow up. Now, look, there is a percentage of fans that want Malik Willis. There's a percentage of fans that want Kenny Pickett. There's a percentage of fans, and the scouts haven't really talked about it, but I'm waiting for this kid from the Huskies to blow up. He's supposed to have the highest ceiling out of everybody.
Carson Strong.
I can't.
Carson
Strong. He's supposed to have the highest ceiling.
He's a statue, though. But
I know he is, but
which would go back to his point about the offensive line.
there you go. I mean, look, the offensive line has got to be top priority throughout this whole team. It has to be. I can't see quarterback this year. It would be to me. A boring draft is getting our line fixed this year, done, over with for the next 4 or 5 years.
We fixed it. Go back and watch my mock draft. We fixed it.
Right. That's it. Because not only do we need offensive linemen, we need a tight end. We need an inside linebacker. We might look. I know we've drafted. We might need another corner. I don't know about the safety. You guys say you want a wide receiver in the later rounds. This is a lot of draft capital that I'm burning up right here, just talking about positions of need, and I haven't even gotten to another running back yet.
We have 10 picks.
I know we do, but Lou, I just named 7 positions right there. That only leaves 3 picks to double up on somebody. And then you got to try to get the best player at that position.
He said you have
the funniest part is in the NFL is they always do free agency prior to the draft, which is hard because most sports do the draft before free agency. So depending on who's here, right? Because again, we're going to lose about 8 guys without restructure, and then we're going to lose 4, maybe 3 or 4 more to restructuring. Right? So we're talking about probably 11 players that are going to be coming here, and we're going to need to sign players. So hopefully the new GM will come in and try to fill some of those gaps that you're talking about. When we go to the draft, we can take the best player available, because I think this draft has to be the best player available, and not necessarily reaching for a quarterback per se, right?
Yes.
So if you come in there and Neal is the best guy on your board, or Cross is the best lineman on your board at the time, take it, right? And then at 7's the wild card for me. Because to me, I think the highest lineman was 5, right? The highest offensive lineman. Then at 7 is the wild card. You can do whatever you want with that. Trade it, take a player. I think they trade out because of money. They might want to trade out and get out of the top 10. And at that point, somebody's going to probably want a quarterback. So maybe they trade back like a Washington or a team of that ilk. And now you're adding your draft capital and getting those players that you need to fit. Because this GM, I think, is going to want to build a draft, or at least that's what his message is going to try to be to the fans. Yeah, we're going to build this through the draft. And if that's the case, one of those picks need to be traded for value, whether that's this draft here or next year's draft 2023. So,
right, and that's why I'm saying that I think Daniel Jones might have one more year. This year is going to be make or break for this kid. And if he doesn't have a solid offensive line in front of him and a good running game, I don't know very many quarterbacks that can survive without a decent offensive line and a running game.
Well, then this is what I'm going to break it down to you, Joe. I'll sorry, Pat. Then I'll let you have the floor. What I would do then is I would keep Jones, trade one of those picks because if the schedule is not that hard this year. So let's say they happen to win 7 games, you're not going to be up there with a quarterback. So we're going to need that ammunition to move up to get one of those guys, because everyone believes the 2023 class is a better class. So if that were the case, then I'll do what you say, Joel. Now I would keep Jones, because he's not the quarterbacks here are not better than anybody. Maybe I pick up Carson Strong if he slips in the 3rd round or something like that, and then I can trade my 7th pick, grab a couple more line for next picks for next year, 2023, so I can package and move up. And I need to get a quarterback then. Sorry, Pat.
As long as whatever guy we bring in here starts off with like a good 51-10 record, I'll be happy. I'll be happy as fuck with our coach or our GM, because I'm tired of these fucking. I was looking at the stats of the coaches' wins and losses with a minimum of 30 games in the past 5 coaches that we had. That shit is sad.
Oh,
it's sad. Tom Coughlin is the only one
Bro, I got some stats for you guys here in a little bit. Pat's got something to say. Maybe I'll throw these stats at you guys here after Pat's done.
I'm just gonna tell you that there's the scenario that we want, and then you gotta think about the real as well. The scenario that we want is to give Daniel Jones his last year to see what he can do behind the offensive line, build an offensive line in front of him, and let's see what he got.
We're not gonna get nothing that we want. We already know that.
I'm telling you the real that can actually happen. What's the main thing this fan base and people are telling about the Giants? One of the main reasons why we've been sorry for the past 10 years. We keep holding on to people. The O-line, true, but we keep holding on to people that's not supposed to be here.
Shit, we ain't holding on to nobody. We have one of the youngest teams in the NFL right now. We ain't held on to nobody. We got a bunch of young.
Hold on, I gotta take this call from my brother, and I'm gonna get on your ass when I get back. Hold on.
All right, I'll go over. I'm gonna go over some stats, guys.
I like women, and I'm a married
man. Here, we're gonna talk about some 1970s football. Oh,
go ahead.
All right, we're gonna talk some 1970s football here. I brought up all the records. I didn't have the head coaches. Are you guys think this is bad football? I'm going to start out in 1971. Alex Webster was the coach. We went 4-10. In 72, we went 8-6. Alex Webster was the coach. In 73, we went 2-11-1. Alex Webster was the coach. In 74, we went 2-12-0. Bill Arnsparger was the coach. 1975, we went 5-9.
That's
1976, about where I remember the bicentennial year. I was 7 years old. That's when I really started watching football with my dad. You hang out with dad, you sit, you watch. We had friends over. We always had company in front of the TV, watch Giants football. 3-11. 77, we went 5-9. 1978, we went 6-10. 79, we went 6-10. 1980, we went 4-12. 1981, we went 9-7. Lawrence Taylor, NFL Defensive Player of the Year, NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. The following year, 1982, this is under Ray Perkins. We went 4-5. Lawrence Taylor, NFL Defensive Player of the Year. 1983, we went 3-12. Ray Perkins. Lawrence Taylor, NFC Defensive Player of the Year. 1982. I said 82, right? No.
You said 82, then we went to 83.
Oh, 82 was 4-5. 84 was 4-5. That's when Perkins got fired. And then Parcells 3-12, 9-7, 10-6, 14-2. The rest is history. So that was a whole decade that I just went through. And I believe we have more wins now in the last 10 years than the 70s.
I don't know. I gotta look
it's
back.
Close though, isn't it? It's close.
It might be close, but it's been these last 10 years have been horrible. And I was born in 77 myself, so I wasn't watching football in the 70s.
Part about that is that draft, they had no free agency, so they drafted from till round 13 or something crazy like that.
Or traded, or had to trade picks to get another player from another team.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, it was 29th round and shit. But those were some. I mean, I wasn't watching football in the 70s yet because I was only born in 77.
Right.
But
what you forgot to mention,
I've obviously heard about the nightmare that was the decade of the 70s. I heard all about it. But what I've seen with my own eyes is the nightmare that was the month of December in the 2021 season.
Yes.
And that was an absolute nightmare. And that was an absolute meltdown.
Well, I looked at Good Morning Football stat up yesterday, this morning, and every category in the offense was last. Everything was last for 2021, which is pretty sad state of affairs. Yeah. When you have Barkley on the field and guys who can actually, like, it's not like they were bereft of talent. That's the problem that I had. It's like, Barkley played the last month of the year and didn't do much, right? I mean, I know the old line stunk, but even Booker broke a couple runs,
With the report that came out about Joe Judge fighting with the offensive coaches.
Again?
No. Why do you think he was fighting with the offensive coaches, and you're talking about us being dead last in every offensive category?
Yeah, no shit. I'd fist fight him too.
But those are the
Get
guys.
this shit out.
That's his staff. Those are his guys.
But I can't. I mean, he's probably from because he wanted to do third at the beginning of December, not at the end. So that's probably what's fighting for. So you're going to run this quarterback sneak every time. No, I'm just kidding. I know.
I get
My
it.
bad, fellas.
No, you're fine. I hate seeing people get a raw fucking deal. That's my problem. I get too emotional like that.
Look, I mean, I get what you're saying with Judge, and I understand all reasons why and what happened. I mean, I get it. I understand. The only thing I was trying to say was wanted the eyes to be aligned with each other, right? Because you look at it, if you look back at the history of the firings, they've never done an outside guy. They've done this where they've brought in a GM and a coach with Gettleman and Shermer, but let's not Gettleman was to retread. He wasn't really an outside guy, and he was the only guy that would keep Eli Manning. Same thing with Shermer. He was the only guy out of the guys they interviewed that probably said, yeah, we're going to keep Eli Manning. So now the reason why I was so advocate about firing him, Judge could be smart. I mean, yes, do I think he got the raw deal? I think there were a few things that got him the raw deal. I think he killed him. He fell on his own sword when you tell like the Eagles, we won't do what the Eagles did at the end of the year, and then you go off and win that play in the middle of the Washington game and then call everybody on show and call things out. I think he sealed his own fate. My only point is don't half-ass it. Just rip the Band-Aid off and go forward. And if that works out, then that works out. Don't force it, because then what happens is you don't have a vision. These 10 picks now are going to Joe Judge, and if he's not here in 2023, then now you have to get rid of those players because another coach is going to want his guys. So that's the only reason I was adamant about fighting. And like you, I think he got the raw deal. I understand that, but this is the NFL. It's a results-oriented business. You got to figure things out. That's all.
Yeah,
okay, Pat. Let Lou have it.
Lou ran. He gone.
Whack-a-mole.
I'm thinking, he went to go get a smoke. Oh, you still there? I thought you said he's going to get a smoke.
I never.
But,
go ahead, man.
No, the thing that I was saying about the whole Daniel Jones scenario, I believe the best scenario is exactly what you guys are saying. Let him play out that last year and see what he got behind the offensive line. But then you got to think about it on their side as well.
Yes.
I have to make a decision on this guy by May to give him a guaranteed $21 million in order to hold his rights next year, just in case he balls out this year. Because let's be real, if he balls out this year, I still don't want to give him a major contract for a quarterback because he hasn't earned it. I got to see you do it 2 or 3 years in a row. Then I'll know that you that dude, because you can ball out your contract year and then suck the very next year. But if they don't put that marker on him, that means he has to be paid immediately. Because even if you franchise tag him, I think Steve said that, or somebody said franchise tag him, that's still $30-something million.
Yes.
I said that. I only said that because that's the only fallback option if you don't want to extend him on the 5th year. What I'm saying is, like, if you don't want to extend him in May and he balls out, right, then the only option is to franchise him to negotiate the contract. That's all I was saying. Is you have that option.
That is your only option after that, Adam, if you don't give him that $21 million. But now, instead of paying him that $21 million because you didn't believe him, now you have to give him an extra $15 million on top of that.
Well, a lot of it,
36.
a lot of giving him his 5th-year option is going to be all about his neck.
They said he won't be ready until August. So
I know, but they're going to
at the time that comes up.
It said contact in August. But.
Say that again, Adam.
They say he won't be ready until.
Yeah, he won't be ready. Well, they say for contact until August. He'll probably be thrown around in May, but they say he won't be ready for contact until August. So it's actually must have been more serious than we thought.
The decision's been made, then you can't give him the 5th-year option because you can't go in there and hope he has a contact. Then you give him that 5th-year option.
Well,
somebody taps him and he's out the year. Now you're on the hook for $21 million.
Well, what it actually said is that Daniel Jones said he would be ready for contact in August, which is when the preseason starts.
Well, that's still a risky business because
Well, then you
to
have
me, with that,
in case he gets hurt in preseason, you already have a go-to guy here in the building. You're not scrambling to find a replacement.
Right? No, I get it, and I'm going to bring in a guy like Nick Foles, but for me, giving him the 5th-year option, because you can't risk that on an injury. If he says contact in August, well, then you can't get your $21 million. You're gonna have to earn that $37 million that we're gonna give you in 2023, because the only way you're going to be on this team next year in 2023 is via franchise tag, because I can't risk, especially with the quarterback position. If he's not ready in August, man, that is one of the decisions this GM's going to make, because if we're coming back and or something like that, I would be like, okay, I can consider it. I can see him throw, and then you're going to tell me he's not going to be ready for August. I can't give him 20. I can't give him that 5th-year option. Anyways, fellas, thanks for having me. It's a great time talking to you guys, and I'll see you guys around when I can.
All right, Adam.
Okay.
But that's the thing right there with that. Tony the Tiger says that's his first time for contact. He said he will be throwing and practicing, lifting and practicing before that. I'm quite sure he will. But that's the decisions that the new GM and the coaches are going to have to make with this roster, with the people that are already here. Because
so I'm starting to figure this out. Sorry, Pat. Tony the Tiger is Kadarius Toney. The other guy, Bark Nasty, is Saquon Barkley. We got Giants players watching our stream, seeing what kind of shit we talking about.
Well, I was just gonna say real quick too, Pat, for what it's worth. I mean, he's a quarterback, so he ain't gonna be feeling no contact until August any damn way. You know what I mean? And a preseason game will be the first time he would actually feel any contact, because ain't nobody touching the quarterback in practice anyway. So as long as he can get out there and throw the ball around a little bit, and can still throw the ball around and can run and be in shape. He wasn't gonna get no contact until August, regardless.
I just want our coach to come in and start off with a good winning record, something like 51-10 or something.
Go ahead, Joe.
Well, here's the thing. The only thing he cannot do is have contact. He's not limited in lifting, throwing, running, standpoint, just contact. So he can do everything else except the contact. So it's looking like everything's healing. We got to wait on more news as to what the injury actually is. But right now he's cleared for everything but taking a hit, which is why he was throwing them 50-yard bombs down the field.
Okay, so look how hard the decisions that this new GM and coach have to make even before they even get into rebuilding the roster.
Right.
So you mean to tell me the Bears situation is not better than that?
Right.
You literally have to, you come into this situation, and by May, which is a couple of months, you have to make a major decision for this roster immediately. And that's giving a guy $21 million guaranteed that has a bad neck. Let's be honest. He has a bad neck. You have a running back that's getting $7.2 million guaranteed. And then what if he has a good season? Are you going to pay him? Are you going to franchise him? Because you're not going to be able to franchise him and Jones if you don't give him that $21 million guaranteed and they both ball out.
Mm-hmm.
You can't franchise them both. So one of them is going to get paid. Just with two players. That's not even going into releasing the players and the other bad contracts. What a hell of a job these guys are coming into.
Right.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, for what it's worth, Daniel Jones, with the Daniel Jones situation overall, I mean, you're looking at a guy that he hasn't necessarily really proved it on the field yet when he is healthy. And then the fact of the matter is he hasn't been healthy his whole career. He's missed games literally every season of his careers. He hasn't put together a whole season yet.
Well, judging, I know Fromm and Glennon aren't the best goddamn quarterbacks in the world. But after watching Daniel Jones behind this line and then watching Fromm and Glennon, I have way more confidence in having Daniel Jones here for another 4th year. Because if he can do the performance he's done this year behind that shit.
But are you comfortable giving him $21 million guaranteed?
I just don't think he's earned it. I hadn't earned it though. I don't think he's earned that myself personally.
Look, can we agree that if we didn't draft Daniel Jones, that somebody else would have in the 1st round?
I definitely can agree with that.
Definitely.
Okay,
I'm not.
So Daniel Jones
draft position.
Okay, but Daniel Jones is definitely a 1st round quarterback.
Absolutely, he was.
Okay, now let's look at the Browns situation and what they're dealing with right now with
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Mayfield. Okay,
was good.
They're in a hard situation because now don't they have to give him money, or because last year was his 5th year, or is this year his 5th year?
He's a year ahead of Daniel Jones.
This year was his 5th year because he's a year ahead of Daniel Jones.
So this was his 4th year. This was his 4th year.
So they picked up his option already, I believe. So
they picked up his option. Do you think the Browns did a smart move picking up his option this year, or should they not have?
They should not have, because I don't think his market is that high, because he's not coming off a stellar year.
So basically, we're in the same situation.
We're in the
as
same
the Browns.
exact boat with Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think Daniel Jones can shine behind the offensive line.
But is Baker Mayfield better than any of these quarterbacks coming out of college?
Yes.
Okay. So then I guess the Browns signing him would be, to the 5th year option, the best move. And let's be succinct here. The quarterback market's not that great. Okay. So if I let Daniel Jones run this year and I give him the 5th year option, it is $21 million. But if I'm drafting a quarterback the following year, I let Jones play for, 7-8 weeks. Then I bring my rookie in. Okay. It's not costing me a bunch of money. I know what Daniel Jones is. Daniel knows he's going to be on his way out if we draft a rookie quarterback. And maybe they trade him halfway through the season and can get something for him outside of a 4th or a 5th round pick like they could right now. Or we could bring in somebody else and that person has to learn the system, because we didn't sign Daniel. 21's expensive for a backup quarterback. I get it. I understand it. But at least going into that 5th season with a rookie quarterback, you know exactly what you have. You have a guy out there that he knows he's on thin ice and he's going to do whatever he has to do to prove that he has an opportunity in his next team, because he's going to have another team. He's going to have another chance. And then you bring in your rookie, and then there might be a team that needs a quarterback, before the trade deadline, and maybe you can work out something for him. Yeah, you're going to have to keep 3 quarterbacks on it, but I mean, at least you're covering your ass 6 different ways from Sunday is how I'm looking at it.
Do you understand how messed up this situation is with Daniel?
Yes,
Jones really is, because we don't know who he is going into his 4th year.
Yes, I do.
We never built the offensive line. Just a scenario that you gave out. Say that we give him this $21 million option, and he sucks this year.
Right.
Then we go on to next year. We have to draft a quarterback. That $21 million is guaranteed unless somebody takes that off your hands in a trade. He has no trade value now.
Right.
Because his trade value is low right now. What happens if he goes a 4th year of sucking? Then what's his trade value going to be? Who the hell's going to want him? So now you're going to have a $21 million quarterback on your roster in the year that you're supposed to get back money for those bad contracts that were already on the roster. Now his contract is bad for $21 million. So the $23 million that you get back, if you release a Leonard Williams or if you release a Galladay, I think is around 19 to 20 million. That contract Daniel Jones got is eating that up.
I don't think he's going to suck that bad. Or
I'm just saying, what if he does?
I know. I know what you're saying.
There's a high chance he does.
Because I mean, the only good thing we did this year is Glennon was what, $1 million?
Yeah, that was it.
That was the only good thing. But
He
if you want to get
$1 million, he stole that $1 million fair square.
Yes, he did.
he did. But who are you going to get in here for a backup? And it's probably going to cost you what, 12 to 14?
Should have kept
but I'm saying,
I mean,
like, piggyback like what Pat saying, like, there's a strong possibility like what Pat said can really come to fruition. I mean, Daniel Jones hasn't shown you enough either way to make you feel comfortable to just be like, just think he's gonna come in and have lights out amazing year. At the same time, it's very strongly possible he can come in there and lay another egg, and just like and like you said, it just like then he has no value whatsoever. Then it's just like you kind of just stuck in limbo again with this guy.
It's going to upset you guys, but Mara's also the kind of guy like, hey, we screwed you over. I'm going to give you your 5th-year option.
Yep.
We've done it. We've done it to other guys.
Yep.
We've brought in other guys to give them a little bit of pocket money. You know, Mara might look at him and say, I'm giving you your 5th-year option. This is your year, though. We're not going to look at anything past year 5.
Well,
here's your bonus money because we stuffed it to you with Gettleman and everything and did you dirty.
He said in his press conference that he's got to earn the Giants fan base trust back. So he might be willing to pay to play. He might be willing to go out and spend some bread this offseason to try to at least put 9 wins up so the fan base won't show up at his house with pitchforks and torches.
Well, but that's the wrong thing to do in my eyes. You build this roster. That's how you earn this fan base back. You build this roster. If you don't have patience, then I don't need you. Because it takes patience. You build this offensive line, and then we'll see what Daniel Jones really is. But what I'm saying is, Joe, there's a chance that he might suck again.
There is.
Now he's $21 million on the books in the offseason where you were expecting to get money back from bad contracts. So one of those kind of bad contracts that you get out of it, Daniel Jones is eating all that up because his money is guaranteed unless you can find some sucker to take on that $21 million in a trade. Because if they trade for him, that guaranteed contract goes to them and it comes off your books.
And if we could put a decent offensive line in front of him with his week and the piss hand as the schedule we play next year, the possibility might be 10, 11 wins. It's 50-50, man. How much are you a gambling man? You know, you're going to have to be.
Benjamin Vidal.
I mean, we all counting on the schedule being weak, but we really never know, man. We got the AFC, we got the AFC South and the NFC North, right? The AFC South and the NFC North.
If you haven't already.
Yeah. And then we're gonna have the Seahawks on the schedule again, and we're gonna have who came in last place in the NFC in the NFC South. I can't even remember.
The Falcons.
Falcons came in last. Carolina came in last. So
Carolina came in last. My bad.
Yeah, we had them on the schedule again. So, I mean, schedule. I mean, you still talking about Green Bay gonna be on the schedule? You know what I mean? Talking about how Chicago could be. You know what I mean? Tough depending who gets the coaching job in there.
Right.
Get that team in shape. They could be a legit team. Minnesota. I mean, I'm not looking at that schedule as being as weak and as soft as everybody's trying to say it is. And you never know what you get out of them AFC South teams. Colts, the Tennessee Titans, Jacksonville. I mean, you just never know what you get out of those teams sometimes. So mainly Jacksonville and Houston, they're known as bottom feeders.
We also playing the Ravens.
I think that's going to be an ass whooping. I'm not.
Oh, we are playing the Ravens. Oh, that's the extra game is the Ravens.
Yep, that's the last game of the season. Ravens.
All right, man. Look, they finished last in their division. I get it. Lamar was out, but when you got a mobile quarterback like Lamar, that's a chance you take.
They were also in the hunt, though. We weren't.
They were in the hunt. Yes, I didn't take nothing away from them. I just said when you have a mobile running quarterback, that's that Daniels gets hurt and everyone calls him, injury prone. Barkley gets fluke accident. We call him. I hate that word, injury prone. Is this the beginning of Lamar becoming injury prone?
I mean, I only brought the schedule thing up because I don't want to go into the all season and everybody thinking, oh, this schedule's super soft. I mean, yeah, we obviously it looks like it's some layups on there, but at the same time, it's we got a couple heavy hitters on there too. That's going to be some tricky games.
Oh, we do. I'm not taking anything away from it. I just, we were just debating scenarios. Well, it is kind of soft. So, what if? Because, Mac, we can actually look at this team, right? And we think if we had an offensive line, we would definitely be winning more games, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, we saw what Daniel Jones did behind a piss-poor offensive line. I really don't think he's going to regress if we put guys in front of him. I don't think Barkley would regress if we keep him and we put an offensive line in front of him.
Definitely.
If we're looking and we get a couple of tight ends that can catch the goddamn ball and block, because I think look, Daniel's proven he can get the ball out if he's got time. We broke down tapes of his last game. He started hitching and moving forward in the pocket. He started, looking around. He was doing more reads instead of one read. All right. Right now, we are completely lost as far as the draft, we know what we want.
Thank you for the 33 likes and the 24 viewers.
Yes, thank you. Exactly. We don't know what the schemes are. So, Daniel might not even fit the scheme that this offensive coordinator's bringing in. So he just might be gone. He might just be gone, when cuts come.
If you guys haven't subscribed to Gnation, Classified 3F, or Mac the Giants fan, or Big Pat Sports Talk, please do so. We greatly appreciate it. Helps us out a lot.
Yes, sir.
We keep it coming. Each one of us has our own channel. We constantly putting out Giants content, sports content, boxing, MMA, basketball, baseball, fishing. We cover it all.
Cooking.
Yeah.
We do some killer cooking videos.
We cover it all, and I mean all season long and all off season long. We got drafts, we got film review, we got what are you doing? We got every type of thing you can think of. Leather to the face.
That's right. We're gonna have
big NFC East roundup and the Big Blue review. We got Joe's analysis. I mean,
we got players from the USFL that are going to be coming on. That got me so excited.
We're going to be doing March Madness. We're doing a lot here. We're going to build this network for you guys.
We do the college football.
Oh, hey, I cannot wait to talk to these guys. Watch on the documentary.
So, I mean,
Lou's actually going to the city this week.
Yeah, going to the gym.
Yeah.
In the process of doing a boxing documentary for you guys. So we're hard at work. We're grinding. We're trying to keep you guys up to date with all the roster moves, injury reports, trades, wins, losses, trade deadlines, everything football and sports related. We got you covered. So please subscribe if you haven't already. It will help us out a lot, and we greatly appreciate it. We're gonna keep grinding and putting out bangers for you.
That's right.
So that would be fun. The Nets and Bulls played. If the Knicks and Bulls played each other, that would be fun.
Yes. Yes.
But I just want you guys to realize what it meant when they blew everything up. You guys really don't realize how hard this job is. Look how long the conversation went on to just about one player. Just one.
Yeah.
Right.
So imagine what the evaluation conversations are like.
Can you imagine the evaluation conversations are going to be like of this whole roster? If we can go on almost an hour talking about just Daniel Jones, how long you think they're going to be fucking talking about this roster when they come in here? And you guys don't believe that Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley could be gone?
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
I believe it both be gone.
Because if I'm a GM and a new head coach, I'm like, I want to get rid of that headache right now.
Well,
what's the best I can get for him?
The only safe guy on this team is Andrew Thomas.
And Ojulari.
I think Kadarius Toney is pretty safe. Ojulari's safe.
That I don't know.
McKinney may be safe.
Shit, Ojulari rookie season 10 sacks and only played in 14 games.
Lou, it's all about the offer.
I will say this: what if we get a defensive coordinator that want to run the 4-3? Then Ojulari isn't safe.
True.
Because Ojulari is not a 4-3 linebacker.
Right. He's an outside linebacker in the 3-4 scheme. Yeah.
Then Roche is not safe.
A lot of guys wouldn't be safe if that happened.
Right. What about Dexter Lawrence? I don't think Dexter Lawrence would be safe.
No.
Although I think at a 4-3 it would fit him a little bit better. Him and Williams next to get each other on that 4-3. But if you want more of a pass rush, Dexter Lawrence is not safe. What if the defense switches to a 4-3?
Good point, Jeff. Someone can come in and say Tony doesn't fit their style of offense.
Exactly. That's why I said the only guy safe.
It could be, but Tony fits most offenses now because it's more wide open. Tony fits a lot of offenses. He does.
He can do a lot.
But I'll say this: Galladay is not safe. Only thing that makes him safe a little bit
is that contract.
It's because of that damn contract.
Right.
I don't think he should be safe, to be honest.
Who's to say they just want bench his ass to just say, we don't want you on the team, we're just going to pay you, and we're barely going to play you because we know we're going to get rid of you next year. So we may be building without Galladay still. He might just be paid to sit.
Someone comes up and offers McKinney. I'll give you a 1 and a 3 for McKinney.
I know we better get rid of Kyle
second round pick. I get a first and a third.
We better get rid of Nate Solder's ass.
Oh, he's authentic. Gone. If you want to pop in real quick, you can, bro. If you got time, I don't know if you're in the studio or not. Thank you for watching.
Yeah,
I mean, these are the conversations. These are the conversations that I like to have. A lot of people call me crazy because I like to look at both sides of the coin. Yeah, man, I'm with you. I'm not giving away McKinney for a damn. I'm not giving away McKinney for a damn thing.
I'm not going to fall in love with any of these players. Right now, you can't do it. This is a true rebuild. This is starting over from scratch.
You can't look past anybody getting cut now.
Right.
That's true.
I mean, everybody's expendable. Everything must go.
Everybody is, but I still feel like there's a couple guys I think like an Xavier McKinney. That's a lot safer than others. You know what I mean? That we can say confidently is probably a lot safer than other people. You know what I mean? I just can't imagine somebody.
It might be, but when you get your wish, Mac, we've witnessed the tear down.
Yeah.
I mean, God, who was it after Parcells? Oh, Ray Handley. Look what he did to this team.
Look, I'm down for whatever makes us good again.
That doesn't matter. You know what a good movie I wanted you Giants fans to look at before everything went down? The Wishmaster. Didn't he grant you a wish every time? But it was always something that came with it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So this is what comes with it.
Yes.
Yeah, this is what comes with it. We want to rebuild. We want to tear everything out. Get everybody the fuck out of here. Okay, the Wishmaster said, okay. But what about the people you love on this team already? Now they're not safe. None of them are safe. Patrick Graham, you love him. I don't think he's going to be here. He's gone.
He's gone.
People that love Kadarius Toney. If this offensive coordinator comes in here and says he doesn't like nobody on this roster, guess what? He's gone. The new GMs, before they even hired, said they didn't like Joe Judge. Guess what? Joe Judge had to pack his bags, didn't he? And he was guaranteed his job 4 weeks ago by Mara.
Right.
Well, GM candidates said they didn't take the job.
That's why I like movies like Wishmaster, because everybody wants their wish granted, but you don't know what's going to come with that wish.
It's like the guy that wanted $1 million.
Yeah. You could wish to be the richest man in the world, and you wake up the next morning and your wife and kids are gone.
Right. That's what the guy wanted $1 million. Says, yeah, I'll take $1 million. And it showed his mother at the airport signing a contract for $1 million life insurance policy. Guess where his $1 million came from? Mom dying in a plane accident. I remember that movie. That was a good one.
See what I'm saying?
Miz, we're not saying this new regime is not a must. We're saying
it wasn't.
We're saying everybody's expendable right now. So don't
everybody's expendable.
Everybody is.
You can't tell me we're not telling the truth about this.
Right.
I mean, I agree with that.
This is what me and Joel are getting killed for right now, because we're giving you every scenario. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Joe Judge is gone. But guess what? Joe Judge might not be the only person that's gone. Some of the people that you love on this team may be gone.
Yep.
Right.
Because like he said earlier, if the new regime hires a defensive coordinator that wants to run a 4-3, then Ojulari's on the chopping block because he's a 3-4 outside linebacker. Or if we get a power running team, offensive-minded coach, that wants to build an O-line and run out of a power eye or run out of a jumbo set, then Barkley might be cut because he likes to cut and juke. And he might be a guy who wants a guy who's straight north and south. So
right.
It all depends on who comes in here and what their vision for the team is. So once we know who is in here and what their mindset is, then we'll have a little more of a feel of who's expendable and who's kind of safe. But right now, everybody's expendable.
Right. Authentic, jump on. I'd love to get your point into that, because we were talking about, sorry, Pat, to bring Authentic up to speed, we were talking about who would be better to keep or more expendable, Jones or Barkley.
Right. Authentic.
And what I said, because everyone was ready to come at me because they were like, Joel's going to say Jones, and I don't get why, but my explanation on Jones was, okay, if you look, Barkley's been hurt the last 3 years. We give him $7 million. We give Jones, this is his 4th year, he's going to get 4 or 5. So the money difference doesn't really make much sense. But which position right now is easier to fill through the draft and still try to have success winning football games? Because we all agree that the first couple of draft picks has to be offensive line. We have to get offensive line. So with the lesser of two evils being, if I can get a 2nd and a 4 for Barkley, or if I get like a 3rd and a 5th for Jones, which would be the more easier to replace, because the free agent quarterback market just isn't there. And it's not, I talked about so much, I'm getting tired. I lost all train of thought. Winded.
He had a brain fart.
I did.
But what I'm trying to put into effect, I know Miz is saying, well, Miz knows Marco. What's going on, bro?
Hey, Marco.
What's going on? Thanks for stopping by.
I know how Authentic thinks as well, but this is the thing that I'm trying to tell you guys. This shit is going to be way harder than people think. People just think because we got a new GM and a new coach at the same time, everything is just going to be rosy-josy. It's not. The situation is way harder than what you think it is. These people
the reports
have to
that are coming out are true. The culture is fucked up. The players are mad. It's a whole lot of shit that needs to be repaired.
This roster has to be purged. The culture is going to have to be reaching. Yep, the whole culture is going to have to be rebuilt. They're going to have to rebuild a whole scouting team. If I'm them, I'm trying to get rid of the whole training staff as well. He says, Authentic says, everyone like playmakers. I've been saying for 3 years, use them like Kamara and bringing the power back. I think that's his best scenario too, Authentic. I'm not going to lie to you. But if we can sit here and talk about one player for over an hour, and there's still no really good thing to do with that player, which is Daniel Jones. Damn, what do you think they're going to do with the rest of this roster?
Right.
Yeah.
And Miz, I know you said Ojulari is not going anywhere, but what if the new defensive coordinator, the coach runs a 4-3?
Right.
Ojulari has no place in a 4-3. He's not a traditional outside linebacker, and he's not a traditional defensive end. What happens to Ojulari?
Cut.
Ring, 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 ring. Hey, we got a rookie that had 10 sacks his first year, but he just doesn't fit us. What you willing to give up for him? You give us a 2nd round pick, here you go. We get our 2nd rounder that we got back for wasting him. Click.
Stephen Bloom, big arm talent, can throw the ball 70 yards, zip on
You
throws
talking about Malik
outside of the
Willis?
hash marks, and the running talent is amazing. They say 4.3 40 times.
Hey, Authentic, if you watch film, I want you to watch some film on Malik Willis, and I want you to look at that Ole Miss game. Look at that Ole Miss game, and look at when he played Syracuse.
Yep.
Basically, look at all the teams that he played that has a name. Don't look at the teams that's in the Division II where he is. Look at the teams that when he went up to the SEC and played. When he came up to the big conferences, and then I want you to give yourself a fair evaluation of Malik Willis.
Didn't he play Cincinnati too?
I have to check. I don't think he did. I think
the
top team that he played was Ole Miss this year. But I want you to look at. I want you to look at the teams. Yeah, I looked at his game against Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is good, but they're not Ole Miss. I looked at his tape against Virginia Tech. It was very good. But SEC is a different monster. Not saying that he can't be good. I think he needs time, and I think he needs the right system to survive. I'm just going to be honest with you. Because if you put him, wanting him to be a traditional drop-back quarterback.
I actually can't believe Authentic is saying this, because I remember for a while he was saying give DJ a chance on a lot of his streams. You know, he wasn't slaying DJ.
Nah, he got rid of DJ a long time ago.
He got off that train a little while ago. For sure. But
I mean, he has a very nice arm. He's fast, but people try to compare him to Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson, and that's just not true.
That's who they played. They played the Army Black Knights. Got smoked 31 to 16.
Looking at nothing but his tape for days, trying to convince myself he has it. We might need to use DJ for the 4th-year option and build the O-line and see what we can do with the running game and the play-action game, or get a bridge quarterback and then go for the quarterback next year.
I'm not willing to. I'm sorry, Lou, but I'm not willing to give up one of my first-round picks, my 5th or 7th pick for Michael Vick. And Steven said Marcus Vick. No, Michael Vick is a totally different dude from this guy, Malik Willis, Authentic. I'm sorry.
Michael Vick.
No way.
Everybody knew Michael Vick was a beast from the gate.
I remember watching him in Virginia. Oh.
No way he's like Michael Vick.
I was so mad when he went to Philly. Oh, I was so mad. I was happy he got another shot in the league, but I was mad it was in our division against us.
Right.
And, man, he tore it up at Philly. I think he's one of the only guys that get 2 $100 million contracts.
Oh.
He said, I'm not saying he is Mike Vick. I'm saying his playing style. Okay, gotcha.
I could agree with that, but I don't even think his playing style is like Mike. Man, Authentic, you know this, man. Mike Vick was different, bro.
My problem is I saw Michael Vick in college, and I look at Malik Willis, and I've called a couple of his games this year. I get it where people are trying to compare the two, but man, Michael Vick was just a talent in Virginia. Oh my God! What, he went to Virginia Tech, didn't he?
Virginia Tech,
yeah, he went to Virginia Tech. Yeah, he was just Virginia Tech. That last 2 years Vic was there. They were the top 10, top 5 of the NC2A football. They were always up there. They were always up in the top 10, top 5 when he was there the last 2 years. They were always top bowl contenders.
Steve says not for nothing, but he couldn't beat.
I know you're not saying he is Vic. You're saying he plays like Vic.
He's been saying his style is similar to the playing style.
Tell him to send it to me in a message, because it's not pulling up. It's got a blank page right there, just my name on it. I don't know if it didn't put the play in there or what. But I think I know what play you're talking about, when he ran to the sidelines and he threw it off his back foot. Hold on. Hey, send it to me again. I think I know which play you're talking about, and that was an amazing play. I'm not going to lie to you.
I got it. You got it.
I think you're talking about.
Yeah,
you got it.
He tagged you.
because I'm looking, but it's not showing anything. Unless I'm doing it wrong.
It played. Maybe refresh your twit. Refresh the Bird app.
Yeah, see, I'm hitting show this thread and it's not showing anything.
Joe, that's what he said to his
Pull
wife
it up
after
on yours,
15
Joe.
years. Refresh your Twitch.
You want me to share screen? Okay.
Yeah, because it's not working for me for some reason. Or maybe I'm just dumb and I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. I got it, Joe.
You got it?
Yeah, hold on. Let me share this screen real quick. I think I know which play.
Pop-up video.
Yep, that's it.
Shit. You can't see that.
Well, blow it up. Hit that. Yeah, there you go. Now you can.
Let's see. You gonna make me go pull the glasses out, son.
They're really trying to get the ball to the flat.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world.
Amazing.
Oh yeah, this play
was amazing. Yeah.
Easy flip.
That's a throw out this world. Yes.
Great.
That is a very good throw right there.
Lots of good stuff.
That throw was amazing.
Multiple arm
I'm gonna give a kid credit where credit is due. That throw was amazing.
Just a 50-yard.
But he's not Michael Vick, man.
Ridiculous. Nice catch on the sideline.
That was a nice throw though. And I'm not gonna lie.
To the flat.
I think he might be an upgrade over DJ. You give him time.
Oh yeah, but I mean, is he a franchise quarterback, a guy that we think could take us to the Super Bowl?
Well, here's another thing.
Like Vic right there. I'm not gonna lie to you, Authentic. I remember seeing that play live. That play was ridiculous.
Our Giants fans,
Authentic. I ain't gonna lie.
Our Giants fans going to stay calm enough to let that kid ride the bench for a year, and not hoot and holler for him to come in, because he's going to need that time. He's going to need a lot of project time. So there again, we're going to ask that question. If you draft him this year, are you going to let him do what Mahomes did and play the entire season on the bench? Or if DJ's bad, are they going to holler for him to come out? And is the head coach going to feel the pressure and make him come out early? That's, I think he's going to need a little bit more than 8 games. I mean, even Steven said that he agrees with me. Where was it? His splash plays are amazing, but he gets away with a lot against bad teams. There's a lot of truth to that. I'm not saying he doesn't have an arm. I'm not saying the kid is not going to be any good in the NFL. I'm saying he's a year to a year and a half protege. That's why when people ask me what team would he be best going to before the Giants, this all happened, I said the Atlanta Falcons. He can sit behind Matt Ryan for a year at least, because they got to keep him for 2 years and just groom the shit out of this kid. Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years. If Malik Willis could get a year and a half, loose leaving?
Yeah, you know, he got to travel in the morning.
Oh, shit, Bird. Bro, have a safe trip, man.
Yep.
All right, Lou.
But I hold on, Joe. I would like to go at Carl for right quick.
Okay.
Nobody's gassing Malik Willis. You can't take away from the kid that he is talented. He is talented. Am I saying that we take with one of our first round picks? No. But we have a brand new regime. I just told you about the Wishmaster. The Wishmaster is always something to your wishes. Everybody wish that everybody get cleaned out. Everything's cleaned out. But guess what? On the back end, you may be looking at Malik Willis as a Giant with the number 5 overall pick or 7 overall pick. That's what can happen. That's what can happen. And man, yeah, he is. I think with given enough time to groom, I think he could be a good quarterback. I'm not going to lie to you. But if you put him out there from the jump and expect him to be something special and just kill the league, I think you're sadly mistaken unless you have a legit system that you're putting around this kid.
But that would be the problem.
Like what happened with Lamar Jackson.
That would be the problem. You bring him in here and for instance, Daniel Jones is our quarterback. Daniel Jones ain't necessarily, is he the guy that can hold off Malik Willis for a whole season? He hasn't shown that he is. So that could be problematic and getting him out on the field faster than you really want to. Just being behind a guy, like you said, like he probably would be better off behind more of a veteran guy like Matt Ryan or somebody like that and sit and learn for a year or two if necessary. But
if that happens, authentic.
Yeah, that's very true. If he's in the second round, I believe I do take him. If I don't believe in Daniel Jones, I think I do take him. I'm probably not even thinking. I'll probably jump all over him because I could get a first round
that's
talent.
value. Yeah, that's just good value.
And you don't, I get that too. You draft him now, so you don't have to force him in as a rookie. But we got to get offensive linemen in here, bro. We got to get offensive linemen. And if I could get 2 stud offensive linemen in the first round and he's there in the second round, absolutely. Absolutely. I get him. He said who we want as GM. There's 3 possible candidates right now, including Dobbs, Ortiz, Ryan Poles, and Schoen. I think Schoen's the favorite. I think the only way he doesn't get the job is he messed it up himself somehow, some way. I wanted Ryan Poles, but I think he just doesn't have the pedigree that they want. And Ortiz, he's a hiding candidate. He's in the background, but he can get the job. And Dobbs is definitely a candidate that can rise up the board if he doesn't take the Bears' job. But one of those 4 guys, I believe, is going to get the job.
Look, I'll call it right now. If we get Ortiz, I think Malik Willis will definitely be in play to be a New York Giant.
I think he would too.
I think your best bet to see this kid is going to be from the Ravens assistant GM. If we hire him, very, very good chance. He might bring over his quarterback coach as an OC and set the Giants up just like what the Ravens are doing.
He said, Washington gets Malik Willis, and I got to watch him and Jalen Hurts cook us for 5 years plus. I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, that's
man, we beat the Eagles this year, and we could have beat Washington twice if we would have had an offensive line, so I'm not worried.
Exactly, King
Jalen
Tone.
Hurts this year.
King Tone, listen, I'm telling you, Wink Martindale is a head coach, and they bring over the quarterback coach from the Ravens and give him an OC job. You got your defensive coordinator right there. You got your OC right there. You know, you're going to look at a kid like Malik Willis.
That means we just rated the Ravens organization. We took their assistant GM, defensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach.
Yep.
And they're going to work together because they've worked together.
Exactly.
Jalen Hurts, I think you're sleeping on Jalen Hurts a little bit, man. He evolved all season long, man. He became a better quarterback all throughout this season. He ascended. He did not, no regression whatsoever, man. He became a pretty good quarterback, man.
I see what you're saying, Mac, but until he can start beating above 500 teams, I'm not ready to give him any title yet.
I mean, look, they won enough games to make it into the playoffs.
They did. I'm not taking.
They play the teams that's on their schedule, and they can't play anybody else.
I get it. They did what they had to do to get where they are. And I did. I've congratulated them. You know, great. You guys did what you had to do to prove that you're a team moving forward. You beat bad teams. That's what, teams moving forward do. That's what we need to do next year.
I mean, look, I hate the Eagles. I hate giving the Eagles props. You know what I mean?
Me
it's
too.
Not something I like to do. But at the same time, look, people thought this team was going to win, 5 games or so this season? They're in the playoffs. They got another game going into week 19, which is wild card round. They got another game while we got to sit and watch. So I can't knock what they did, and Jalen Hurts was a big part of what they did. So I got to take my hat off to that kid because I was giving him a hard time last offseason, and I had to eat a whole lot of crow on Jalen Hurts. He came out and he balled out.
Well,
that's what I forgot to talk about. There is a scenario going out there that if we do get Brian Foles, he's finally going to get Deshaun Watson because he was the one that wanted to get Deshaun Watson, and the GM and them didn't agree with it, and that's why he had to stick with Tua. So he was the one that wanted Deshaun Watson.
From who's this?
Brian Flores in Miami.
Oh, okay.
And he was the one that was willing up to give up, I think, 3 firsts and 2 seconds and a third
Jesus
or something
Christ.
like that.
We're gonna get killed.
So that could be in the play if Brian Flores is here. Like I said, you get your wish. but the Wishmaster always gives you
Yeah.
an alternative to what he grants for you. So say if we do get Brian Flores, and I'm not going to be mad if we do, but if he comes here, he has full control with the new GM. And that means if he comes here, him and the GM are conjoined. Deshaun Watson may be in a Giants uniform, and we may give up the number 5, the number 7, a number 1 next year, a 2 this year, a 2 next year, and 3, 2, maybe a 3 next year as well.
Oh my God!
So it's going to be Deshaun Watson, and all our draft capital is gone.
All our free agency money is gone.
You see what I've been talking about the past couple of weeks, and I've been getting killed. That's true, ain't it? You didn't think of that, did you? You see what I'm saying? Brian Flores, I believe, is a very good coach, but he wanted Deshaun Watson, and that's where him and the GM, and that's why he was fired, because they couldn't get along, and he did not like Tua Tagovailoa. And they said he was treating Tua like shit. So if we get Brian Flores and he gets his way, what if he gives away the number 5, the number 7, a 1 next year, or 2 this year, a 2 next year, and a 3 next year? That means we don't get a pick into the 3rd round, people. What offensive line are you going to build then? And guess what? Your free agent money is going to Deshaun Watson because he's getting paid over $40 million a year already. You see how I think about shit? This is the shit that I think about. Hooray, yeah, change. I know.
Right.
It's great.
You guys were saying you were started
It's absolutely
because
great.
by electric.
Hold on.
At that time, I had gone over to lower engine, and then I went up to the wiring up there in the top of the
I'm looking up articles right now to read more about this.
Look at this. I hear all of that, and it all do make sense. I mean, it's the risk you take with this situation, but change was necessary here. I'm sorry. I've been down with this team for a very long time. 35 years of my life invested in the New York Football Giants. I've never seen a shit show like I saw, especially the last month of this season. But just the whole it just sums up the whole overall last 10 years with this team right now. It's at some point somebody's got to get this team trending in the right direction, and nothing that was happening with this last regime was indicating that was going to happen, man. So I get everything he's saying, and it all do make sense, and it all can happen that way. But at the same time, change was still necessary. It was just necessary.
Look, I get.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I get all you guys' points, but I'm just not the guy that is going to just flip-flop to flip-flop, Mac. You know, I've always prided myself in, if I've made a choice or a decision, I go with it. I go forward with it, whether that's in life, whether that's sport. I believe in football. And I try to bring that same stuff here to YouTube. You know, I'm not trying to be different or change, but, you know, if somebody asks me a question and I give you an opinion, I'm not going to sit here and say 1 minute that, yeah, okay, we need to keep him, and then flip-flop the next minute and fire him. I'm just not like that, because with the information I have at the time, with what I see with my eyes, that's where I make my decision. But now, if all this shit is coming out as true, you know, I do look like an ass. But I tried to give Dave Gettleman 4 years. I guess I'm too patient when it comes to that. 3 or 4 years. I wanted to give Judge another year, because maybe I root for the underdog way too much. And I just want to see people get a fair shake. And I felt that he just got thrown into a situation that no rookie head coach would ever have been able to walk away from.
Exactly.
Well, under less turmoil than Joe Judge did. There's no way it can happen with as messed up as this organization is. And look, I get it that it was the change and that you guys felt that we needed to blow this up. And this is not something that you guys have been coming at like just the last couple of days. It was week 6, week 7. You come on, you were fired up. Burn this shit down. And you know what? You've been pretty much on that train. You've been trying to be forgiven, but your eyesight just wouldn't let you get over that forgiving hump. Whereas with me, I know what the Maras do to the goddamn football world. I know what goes on behind the doors. I've watched it. I've witnessed it. And you know what? Now that I've even got more information, Dave Gettleman really, really, really screwed Joe Judge. It really wasn't so much John Mara, because now it come out that Dave Gettleman only traded down last year because the press said he never traded down again, and his ego got so big, he's like, screw you guys, I'm going to trade down. Which is why we didn't get Parsons, which is why we didn't get Slater, because of all the media and the bullshit and egos. Egos. No, I don't come on here to try to have an ego. I come on here to give a point, give my opinion, what I'm seeing at the time. And it's just me. I can't flip-flop unless breaking news, information, and at the time, it was coming out that Mara screwed up. It was rumored that Chris Mara wouldn't hire an offensive lineman because he called him an asshole. We weren't getting the true facts. We were getting just enough for us to click on the goddamn article and then try to evaluate an opinion with not enough information. So it really screwed all of us and got all of us pissed off and mad at each other, right? Which is what that goddamn article wanted, because that's all we were talking about. And to a point, it's still all we're talking about is Judge and Mara and all the bullshit that's going on. We can't even get by it even after it's been 2 days after the firing.
Yeah, that's bad, because that did come out that he only traded down just to get on the fans' nerves or just to prove the fans wrong. He said, come to the conclusion that there's plenty of blame to go around on all fronts. They jacked it up and the players have a part too. They all stumped. Yes, they did. Everybody had a part of playing.
Right. I agree 100% with that. And like I said, it accomplished what the beat writers wanted to, got all of us fighting.
Yeah, but I just like to get people thinking about what they really want.
Mm-hmm.
You really wanted a true rebuild. Well, guess what? A true rebuild doesn't consist of the people that you hate. Everybody, they get rid of those people, but the people that you like, we keep. It doesn't work that way. A true rebuild is a true rebuild. You don't tear down a bridge and you only keep the parts of the bridge that you like. That doesn't make sense. And there might be a world, there might be a Giants world where we don't have Saquon Barkley or Daniel Jones or Kadarius Toney. Go ahead, Joe.
Right? Oh no, I was waving good night to my wife. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. But the people that you like, what if we go to a 4-3? Ojulari had 10 sacks in his rookie year, but he does not fit a 4-3. He doesn't. And guess what? Wink Martindale can switch to a 4-3 if he wanted to, if we hired him as a head coach. What if we hire Brian Dabo and he brings in a defensive coordinator that runs a 4-3? Then what? What does that mean for Dexter Lawrence? What does that mean for Ojulari? What's going on, Solo? What does that mean for Roche? You like Roche? Is he a true defensive end? I don't believe so.
Man, you're going to see a lot, man. We're going to see a lot these next coming weeks, man. See what happens, man. It's going to be interesting. Changes, definitely no changes are coming. So
I mean, if you go to a 4-3, you go to a 4-3. There's no need for 3 safeties. So why Julian Love?
Right.
Right. It's a matter of see what happens, man.
And everybody like Blake Martinez. Bye. Bradbury. Bye. When we brought in Blake Martinez, what were the experts saying? He sucked. at Green Bay. His last couple of years, he got benched. He was no good. He doesn't know. Graham brought him in here, and the man was a playmaker.
Machine.
Exactly, but
he didn't fit the 4-3 the way he fit the 3-4.
Right.
Oh, okay,
he's a 3-4 inside. That's his problem.
You see what we're saying? Yeah, he was a beast when they were playing the 3-4. But when they switched to a 4-3, he fell off a little bit.
And look at how bad Bradbury's been getting burnt here lately trying to play man. They're going to look at that film, and he's gone.
I mean, look, like you said, changes are coming.
I think they cut Logan Ryan and Love.
Well,
they might.
It's just going to be a matter of what happens, man. See who's in here. See what kind of decisions they make. You got to live and die with it right now, man.
Dory Jackson we have to keep because of the contract.
Yeah. What if we get Dobbs and he wants to build the Legion of Boom again?
Right.
And that kid Kyle Wilson is at number 5. And they already got Xavier McKinney that can play like Earl Thomas. That makes sense to them. We might hate it, but it makes sense to him.
And then with the 7th pick, if that corner's still there, grab his ass too.
Yeah. Stingley, if Stingley is still there, or
right.
Sauce Gardner, or the guy from Clemson.
Right.
You may be looking at a safety in the corner in the first round, but you wanted it blown up. And
right.
I'm not saying it's wrong, but you got to look at both sides of the coin. It's the Wishmaster. That's what I'm finna call myself in a second. I'm gonna call myself the
Wishmaster.
Look,
because you tell me your wish, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how it's gonna go down. And what can exactly happen.
You can be
couldn't continue looking at what I was looking at no more. I just couldn't continue looking at what I was looking at on the field anymore.
And that's fine. So, that was your wish. You came to the Wishmaster. You said, man, I can't watch this no more. I need it blown up. And he said, okay, I'm gonna grant you your wish. Man, I like Ojulari, man. I like Xavier McKinney, man. I like the way the defense is, but I just can't watch this offense no more, man. I just need it blown up. Just get rid of everybody, man, and make me so satisfied. Your wish is my command.
It's players I like.
Then when you get your wish and you look around the organization and you see Ortiz and Wheat Martindale, let's just say them, or you see Sean and Brian Dabo, and you see in the news every other day another player that you like gone.
Can I be Rumpelstiltskin?
Gone. Yeah.
Can I be Rumpelstiltskin? I got to shrink a little bit, but
right.
Hey, Steven, you're okay with 2-15 next year? You realize how bad shit's going to be at 2-15 next year?
Right.
Against the opponents we're playing, that means Detroit beats us. That means the Jaguars beat us.
We might go 0-6 in the division.
Oh my God!
I mean, we only went 1-5 in it this year. I mean,
but
look, at the end of the day, though, man, look, I understand everything you're talking about. The players I got a lot of players I like. I know this is a business. I'm a big boy. I know this is a business. At the end of the day, I wish them well, but I'm a New York Giant fan. And that's what it really all come down to. And I just couldn't keep watching what I was seeing on the field. So whoever come in here, if they can start getting this thing looking right and making it right, whatever they got to do and however they do it, I'm going to ride with that because I'm a New York Giant fan, first and foremost. That's what it all come down to. And what I was seeing on the field was a product that absolutely stunk, and that couldn't continue. I couldn't continue to keep watching that. I'm sorry. That didn't seem like that was anything positive was coming along the way with who was running things. So that it needed to. I'm sorry, change had to happen. And whatever Whatever the consequences come from it, whatever the consequences come from it, that's just what it's going to be.
And that's the attitude you guys are going to have because there's going to be a lot of changeover, bro.
Right.
And there's going to be players that people love, and there's going to be. I can't wait to see the fans of Saquon Barkley Street. It's OBJ all over again. Oh God, he's gone.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if they take that corner from LSU and Hutchinson's on the board and we pass on him?
Yep.
Oh my God. Yeah, if they take that safety from Notre Dame instead of Aiden Hutchinson. Oof.
Because it doesn't fit. Hutchinson doesn't fit what they want to do.
Right. Right.
And then what's even going to be even worse is if what they feel is gonna work, it doesn't work, and then you're gonna be like, they passed on Hutchinson.
Right. Who else? We took Barkley over who?
Yeah, hindsight is always 2020. Oh, we took Barkley over Quentin Nelson, but at the time you wanted Barkley over everybody.
I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. Please do not take this wrong. But these are possibilities. We don't know anything right now. Nothing.
And I'm telling you right now. All right, Matt.
I gotta get ready to jump off, man. It's been fun, man. Holla at you.
Yes. All right, Matt.
All right,
have
Matt.
a good night.
You have a good one.
Yes, sir.
But I'm just telling you right now. Don't be surprised if we take a quarterback with the number 5 or 7 pick.
Yo, Miss, get in here. Miss, get in here.
Yeah, I told you was gonna get your 5 to 10 minutes of straight talk.
Yeah.
I tried to remedy it before you left.
Yeah, there we go. I mean,
shout out to the 34 people in the chat.
Look, right now what's happened, and just try to be a realist. That's all. Like, look at, when people were saying, is the Bears more, is that a better job than the Giants? And then we started talking about that. And the Bears is a better job. So, yo.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm showing too much people before I left. I went to watch Chicago PD with her. I got to spend time with her too. Yeah.
Right.
But you got your 5 to 10 minutes of talk time, man. I told you I was going to give it to you.
I'm all right. I don't need 5
I tried to
minutes.
handle it before it got too bad, but you know how it is sometimes. But go ahead, man. Say what you got to say, bro.
First off, tell us what your Twitter name is so that we can add you.
Oh, he added me.
I don't even know. She made it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, she added me, so
I think it's the same name.
I think it's the same as his name right there on the screen.
Miz or whatever. Yeah, you'll find me. I don't know. I got to figure it out, to be honest with you.
He said, Steven said, which job is it better than ours? I believe the Jaguars' job isn't better than ours. I think the Jaguars are pretty bad too.
Yeah, but I don't really agree with that, Pat. I'll be honest with you. That's what I was gonna say earlier, and then there was a whole bunch of people, which is fine, no big deal. But I think the Giants' job is the best damn job out there, and I'll tell you why. We are the New York Football Giants, man, and we play in the biggest market on the planet.
I followed
and the guy who take the Giants back to the top is gonna go down a king. I mean, I know you heard me say this before. Whoever wins, you win championships in New York. It's like not winning like anywhere else, man. You are on a different type of pedestal, a different mountain. So wouldn't a guy embrace that type of challenge and the reward that comes with it? You know?
It's true.
I think the Giants is still a great organization. I think John Mara is still a great owner. And the things he said today, he owned up to some of the stuff that's happened. And, yeah, I'm a fan. You're right. I'm a diehard fan. I am. But I believe the Giants are going to turn this around. I really do. I believe they are.
I hope you're right. I really do. I'm tired of seeing the losing too, my guy. I found your Twitter. Do you want me to drop it in the comments so people can follow you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Here you go, folks.
You know me. I'll be on YouTube mostly anyway. So
right. There's Mrs. Twitter handle. Follow him.
Thanks, Joel.
Not a problem.
I wouldn't have a clue how to do that. But I do feel like this change was necessary. I did not celebrate the firing of Judge, but I did feel yesterday when it happened, like I'm sorry to say this, it felt like something positive happened, like a light went off on this fan base and organization, and it feels like it was really, really dark, especially these last few games. Like we were really in the pitch dark.
And
You know, so I think that's part of the reason why it had to happen. And you're saying we're going to lose a lot of players we love. Okay. You know what? Yeah, there are players we love, but we ain't winning with them, man. So maybe a change and a new direction changes that.
You know what? With everything that's come out, okay, look, I held my ground. I made a stance. Okay, I'm not going to flip flop, Miz. I'm not that type of guy. Just back and forth all the time. I'm going to,
Yeah.
But now with everything that's come out, if what they're look, I hate reporters, especially today. You don't get the news and make your own decision. They get the news and then write the article to make the decision for you. And that's the shit I hate. Just give me what happened and let me decide as to whether or not it's believable or not. And we can't get that anymore. But if anything, even if it's half true, the sign on Gettleman's desk, he traded down just to, because of pride. Look, I love the man. He was here, got us 2 rings. Okay. Did a lot for the organization. Went to the Panthers, took them to a Super Bowl. The man did his job. All right. He comes here, kind of hamstrung a little bit. I have respect for Gettleman, but I can't back him anymore because he's burned that bridge. Because I just I don't have ground to stand on anymore to defend him. And the same thing with Joe Judge. If Joe Judge is fighting with coaches, look, I can get the frustration. I get what's going on. I get that, he was involved in some of it and he wasn't involved in some of it. But if he's fighting and carrying on and people had to walk on eggshells, which I didn't know about any of this beforehand, I would never have backed Judge if I knew the beginning of the season or week 4 or 5 that this shit was going down in the locker room. I would never have wanted him back. I would have been on your guys' stance. But me being a guy that likes to root for the underdog, I just wanted to see him get a fair shot. Let things be his. But if he's doing this bullshit and creating enemies within the workforce and going off on tirades, you can't have that on a team. You can't have that in any business.
I mean, Joe, I don't even care about none. I don't even know if half of that shit is true. We don't know.
Right.
We're not in there.
Right.
We don't know. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not the type of guy that's sitting here saying, you see, there was no culture and the players don't like it. I'm not saying all that. These are just reports that are usually going to come out. You find out things later on. Who gives a shit, man? This is football and it's a bunch of men. And there's a lot of testosterone and
yes, there is.
Involved, so it is what it is, man. Coaches get at each other. They hug a day later. It happens in every fucking team, man. So
it does.
Make it sound like this is some new shocking news. It's just that we live in a social media world now where the news breaks in 5 seconds. So people love to respond and we jump on here in the chat and we talk about it, like we did yesterday. Like everything that happened yesterday was like fun, but that's what goes on in this world. A lot of it is not good. It's worse than it is positive, but the thing, I'm not even talking about none of that stuff. What I'm talking about is this. We have to get better, and I don't think it was happening, man. Something, even with Judge and Gettleman's including, something went rotten here. It got real rotten towards the end of this season. You could sense it. And the fans were very fucking angry, man. I know I am. It's not about Pat could be the head coach of the Giants and you could be the general manager. I just want to get back to some winning football. And I'm not even talking about a Super Bowl. Just a respectable team where people don't laugh at us. And I don't even care that he ran 2 QB sneaks. And I know why, because we don't have an O-line and the offense is pathetic. I understand what he was doing.
Right.
But at the same time, what you're telling the fans and what you were telling your players is, I gave up on you. The players might have gave up on him, but he also gave up. When you run those 2 type of plays, you're saying your quarterback can't throw 5 yards, your running back can't hit the outside, your offense can't catch a small slant. You basically gave up. Right there, the players will never play football for this guy again, Joel. I can tell you that for a fact. because he gave up on the team. I'm not putting Judge down. I actually was crazy about Judge the first year. I was. You can't. You ran 2 QB sneaks inside your 3 on 2nd and 8, man. What are you telling your team? I don't believe you could throw an 8-yard pass to get a first down. That's what you're based. Why don't you just punt on 2nd down?
The problem, but the kicking.
I know he couldn't, Pat. I know, but you just can't do that though. As the leader of the team, you can't. You just got to try to take a shot. I understand you can't, but you know what I mean. At that point, we ain't got nothing to lose. The season is done.
That false start penalty on 2nd down that killed him.
And he did try. The first play, he got him with a fullback wide open. He throws it 4 yards short of him. And the guy's only like 3 yards past the line.
I know.
I'm not saying we have any. I'm not saying we have
the very next drive, they open it up and he throws a pick 6.
Right.
The very next drive.
I know.
Well, you said you could at least try.
Okay.
The very next drive, he throws a pick 6.
That's in the past, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Yeah, fortunately, it's in the past.
We talk about it. It's no big deal. I'm
I
not mad about it. It's not size.
I know
I'm
you're not
looking
mad.
at size. I'm not.
But me
I
and
think
Pat,
the change. It was inevitable. The change had to come. I think that, like Mara saw that, especially the fan base is so damn angry. I mean.
But look at
he's a guy that listens to the fans too. He does listen to the fans.
Yeah, he does. Because he's the owner and the fans make you the money. But just listen to this. We say that we had one of the worst O-lines ever to play. Not just in the league, ever to play. And you say Jake Fromm and Mike Glennon doesn't deserve to be in the league. What is he supposed to do right there? How many times will Jake Fromm and Mike Glennon step back? He's like, man, it's going to be a turnover.
Right.
You knew it. And when he did do the 2 quarterback sneaks, they punted the ball away. The defense held and got the ball back. So it worked.
I know you could say they quit on him, but it did work.
Because if they quit on him, that game.
I don't even care about none of that stuff. At that point, we weren't even focusing.
I know.
We know that. Like as fans, we already checked out.
Oh, you got me on video.
The fans checked out. Oh, I was checked out too. I'm not gonna lie to you. The game was still 6-0 mid-3rd quarter. That's not a sign of a team that quit when the offense did literally nothing. And the score was still only 6-0.
No, the defense didn't quit. They played every game.
And that's the part of the team he had his hands on the most. The offense, he didn't have shit to do with it, I believe.
Well, I mean, the only thing we could take about from right now is goddamn good and well, Sakura ain't coming back, Price ain't coming back, Bredesen ain't coming back, Hernandez ain't coming back, Solder's not coming back. You want me to keep going? All the fucking guys are gone. They're gonna all retire.
Let the new guys come in and do what they gotta do, and we're just gonna get behind them because we're Giant fans. And we needed a young mind with a new direction, and I think that's what Mara's gonna bring in here. Now you got a long list of guys he's gonna interview, but I have a feeling they already know who they want. So
And it's the last part I'm going to say about Joe Judge because I'm moving forward, like Colin Coward said. He says that shows how awful Washington was. If that team quit, I promise you, it doesn't matter who's on that field. If your team quits, they're going to put up points against you, regardless.
Right.
It could have been me, you, Joel, and Miz out there. He says that just shows how awful Washington was, that the defense was able to stop them. If that defense literally quit, it doesn't matter who's on that football field. They're going to put up points against you because you quit.
Man, the Bills haven't done anything since 1963. I think that's their last championship.
The Bills got a championship?
Yeah, it was before the Super Bowl. It was like 1963, 64. Yeah.
No, Pat, I agree with him with that also, and that's before I heard his video. I think Washington's a bad team, man.
Yeah, Washington is a bad team. They're bad too, but if a team quits, it doesn't matter how bad the other team is if they're playing. If you quit, they're going to beat the shit out of you.
I said Washington's going to look at a quarterback this year. Got destroyed for that. For that. Guys, is Washington going to look for a quarterback this year?
I hope they do.
I believe
because
they
I
will.
don't think any of these quarterbacks are good. So I hope
Right.
they do go get one of them.
Right.
These
And I think they
QBs to
do.
me is like a 3-4 year project. These quarterbacks, man. I'd rather wait one more year to get my quarterback next draft.
I agree. You know, Young's got definitely a lot of work. We called the national championship game. He's got a lot to work on, but
he's a kid.
You know, we'll see what happens next year. I mean,
he's a kid and he better put on a couple of muscle pounds. A little
right,
bit. He
right.
looks very small.
Who we talking about?
Yeah, Bryce Young. Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. Yeah.
I think you got to hit the weight room a little bit. You know?
That's true, Authentic. And the only reason why we were still in that game because the defense kept playing. But if that team defense quit, I don't care if a team quits. Me, you, Miz, and Joe can score on you because you quit.
Right.
You don't give a damn no more.
Right.
That defense didn't quit, and that's why they were still in the game because Washington is that bad.
Right.
But if they quit,
hey,
I don't care who it is.
You know,
you get blew out.
Listen, that scenario that I gave Pat earlier this year is still in play. Where's Washington picking? 10, 11?
9.
9?
Yeah.
So if one of their quarterbacks is there to jump from 5 to 9, they offered Chase Young and swap picks, would you do it?
In a heartbeat.
Oh, of course. But I don't see them ever being that crazy enough to do that.
Well, you're giving a 1 pick for a 1 pick and throwing in a first round pick with Young. So you're actually getting 2 firsts to move from 5 down to 9 or 10, wherever they're at.
No, that's great for us.
It is great for us. I
don't think they would ever do it.
Hell, you know what? If they don't want to give up draft capital, because Washington is, man, their fans and Authentic can probably verify if they're still doing it or not. The Washington fans are not happy with Young. I saw that they were saying that they were sorry they drafted him. I don't know if that's still true or not or going on down there, but.
I mean, it wasn't sorry last year, so.
Right, because he is coming off that ACL. So is that something maybe Washington would consider with him coming off of an ACL?
But I think Washington's looking for one of these quarterbacks.
They did go up to 11 because they won.
Yeah.
I believe if they're looking for one of these quarterbacks and they're picking 9, most of those
They're at
quarterbacks
11.
are still going to be there.
They're at 11. They're at 11.
All right. At least 2 or 3 of those QBs will still be there.
I'm just asking a question, Mark. I'm just asking because he's coming off of an ACL. We don't know how he's going to come back. But both teams are going to take a risk in a trade like that.
I don't know. I just feel that this fan base has been through a lot of crap the last few years. So people are looking for a light, and there's sort of there's positivity right now, just for a little bit. Let's see what happens. Let's go with it.
All I'm saying is if they do that, because if they don't, let's say they want to jump up with the Jets, they're going to have to swap picks this year, probably give up a second, and then a first next year and a first the following year to go from 11 up to 4. So they're going to have to give up a lot of draft capital. Whereas if there's a quarterback there with us and they just want to they still keep all their draft capital. It's if you're on either team, I mean, it's something you're really going to have to think about and consider.
Yeah, they have a good. Washington has a talented defense.
They do.
They got some receivers. If they ever got themselves a real deal quarterback, that would be a problem for our division.
I'm just trying to show a way that they could do it. You know, and the fan base isn't going to blow up at that because half of them want him gone anyway.
Right.
You know, it's not going to be a disastrous move for Rivera. And then
anyone ever think that Ron Rivera might on the DL because he does things quietly because he's smart? Go after Russell Wilson?
He might, but there again, he's going to be giving up an awful lot of draft capital.
But that guy can make that team a Super Bowl run. somewhere
No,
in these
it
next
might.
3 years.
It might.
And all they need is one.
I mean,
It just
that's
depends, man.
something else to think
Something
about.
to think about, though. Something to
Right.
think about.
That's it.
I mean,
I would like to see Flores, Pat. Personally, myself, I've been looking at these guys, and I wish we could get Flores. I wish. We'll see.
I like Flores too, but I'm gonna give you the same scenario that I gave to Mac earlier, because he said he liked Flores as well. What if we get Flores, but it turns out that he was the guy that wanted Deshaun Watson, and that's the reason why they got into beefs. Him and the GM didn't get along because he didn't like Tua Tagovailoa. They said he was being an asshole towards Tua, and he wanted to give up 3 firsts and 2 seconds to give Deshaun Watson, and they didn't allow him to do it. What if he gets the job here? You know, Mayor just told you in the press conference he's leaving it up to the GM and head coach to make all the decisions this time, which I believe I'm ecstatic to hear that. What if they both on one accord about getting Deshaun Watson? They give up the number 5, the number 7, a 1 next year, a 2 this year, 2 next year, and a 3 next year. We got Deshaun Watson, but we don't pick until the 3rd round this year, and we don't pick it to the 4th round next year. So offensive line, if we don't strike gold on those low round picks, it's going to be the same type of offensive line again.
Right.
You agree with that? You got your wish in Brian Flores, but do you agree with the Deshaun Watson trade?
Yeah, I was thinking about it today, about that. I think that if you bought in Flores and he wants to go after Watson, even though it's complicated, I think I would just give him the keys to go for him. Go get him. Screw it. Go get Watson, man. Because if that guy's a top 5 quarterback in this league, like you said he is, and
he's
the
definitely
Giants will have a spark and a
league.
half over here, real fast. Now, yeah, you got to put together a line. You got to trust this regime can put together an O-line, of course. So,
But you
I
got to
wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad,
now,
Pat. I
wouldn't be mad either, but I would definitely love to see how it will work, because now your free agent cap room is going with Deshaun Watson. So you don't have any money to sign free agents like that, and you don't have any more draft capital because Deshaun Watson just took it all.
You're gonna need more than 2 1s in a 2nd rounder, or 2 seconds, because
no,
we have to give away
3
both
1s and
this
2
year.
seconds.
There's no way around. No way we could keep 7.
That. No way around that. That man offered.
What if you throw in
2-2s.
Pat? What if you throw Barkley in the trade?
I don't think they accept that, bro.
I don't either.
You're not gonna get off the hook with that one. I think they want that 3 1s and 2 2s. That's why I don't think he's traded yet, because I don't think anybody's willing to give that up yet.
Yeah, but if
Flores
nobody's willing to give that up, and the Texans come down close to the final week or 2 to the draft, and you know they really need the picks, you don't think they're gonna they'll make the trade for 2 1s?
If they did, I think it would be both our 1s this year.
It all depends on what another
this year. I want to do 1 this year, 1 next year, and then the
No,
other
I
picks
think
that you said.
both. I think they take both this year. I honestly, truly believe that will be part of them both this year.
I'm not saying it'll happen, but what if Philadelphia gives up their 3 first-rounders and gets them? Because
that could very well happen too.
They can.
There's, so
100%.
And if Deshaun Watson goes to Philadelphia, it's going to get real ugly out here in the NFC East.
It is.
I promise you that.
It is.
Yeah, because they're going to be sick.
There's turmoil with Hurts between ownership and coaching. Sirianni and what's his name are button heads over Hurts.
What I think the ownership doesn't like him, and Sirianni likes him, or something.
I think that's how it's rolling. I'm not 100% sure.
Let me ask you a question. Flores wants Watson, but is it same the other way around? Is Watson kind of looking to play for Flores?
It really doesn't matter because it's all up to the Texans.
I don't know, because in the Texans, he doesn't pay any taxes. If he went to Florida, there would be no taxes. You know, you got Miami Beach, you got the nightlife down there. New York City's very expensive, a lot of taxes. You know, he's going to be looking at losing at least a third of his income each year.
Yeah, but he make that money off the field in New York City. You know
I get it, but you know, a lot of players look at that. So I mean, because if he went to Miami, he'd be making all of his money, not paying taxes on it, and then he'd get his bonus revenue from doing ads. Bless you. See, even Miz is allergic to bullshit like the rest of us.
Watson's like more of a pipe dream, you know that, but whatever. We're just dreaming out loud for a minute.
Right, I get it. I said, but I'm going to be with Pat. He comes here, I want to see what the hell, how they're going to build an O-line. I can't figure that one out.
I mean, you're going to have to do it with the other picks. You know, you have to do it outside of the first round.
Oh.
But and I think they'll create enough money to maybe get a free agent guard.
Yeah, we just destroyed this franchise for saying that trying to get offensive linemen outside the first round was one of their major mistakes.
Right.
All right, well, we're going to build it.
But I'm not going to lie to you. Deshaun Watson comes here. I know the new guys must have some type of plan because you're not just going to get a Deshaun Watson just to get him.
Right.
When you make a move like that, that means you're trying to win Super Bowls. So they got to have some type of plan in place, but I damn sure would like to see it.
I want to hear something. Yeah.
Right. I damn sure would like to see it because, man, that's going to be some shit. I mean, we're going to have some draft.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. That's from
That's
Twitter.
an ad.
That's an ad.
I don't even see it, but it's on his.
I don't even see it. I think
it's on your Twitch. It's on your Twitch.
All right, I have a question for you guys. We are taking one of these quarterbacks in this draft. Let's say, which one is the best one?
I'll have to wait till pro day.
Joel.
I have to wait till pro day.
Different names. I heard Pickett. I heard Coral.
If I have to answer now, I would rather go either Pickett or Willis because I believe those are the best ones in this draft. But, I mean, I'm not excited by any of them right now, just to be truthfully honest. I'm not excited about any of them.
Me neither. I'm more excited about the old linemen and the defensive ends.
Right.
And the linebackers. And
I'll be honest with you. I'm the GM. I'll just fall on that sword. I'm not getting a quarterback. I'll roll with Daniel Jones and see what the hell he can do behind the offensive line that I could build in front of him. I'll just roll that way. Because at least I know the next time we have to get a quarterback, I'll have an offensive line waiting for him.
Yep. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Have players in there for the next young guy coming in. Don't screw him over. Stop that.
I could go. I could roll another year. I could roll another year with Jones. No problem.
And if you get Deshaun Watson, I just think you put him in the same situation that he was over there with the Texans. Hardly any weapons, no offensive line, and he's just playing MVP caliber football to get you 4 to 5 wins.
Right.
That's how I feel about it. But if you go get him, get a quarterback, there must be something that I can't see that they can, and you just got to roll with it. Maybe they know somehow, some way they can make some cap room to put some people in front of them. Who knows? But I just don't see it. I don't see it, even with Russell Wilson. But at least with Russell Wilson, you don't have to give up 3 firsts and 2 seconds.
So you get Russell Wilson for less, right?
Yeah, a lot less. But you may be able to get Deshaun Watson for a lot less this coming up. Because maybe that asking price of the Texans is too high and nobody's willing to bite. So they're going to have to bring it down. And I would say if we could get away with giving up 1 first and a first next year and maybe a second next year, I'm doing it. Now I'll do that because I still got a first, second, third, 2/3, and 2/4 this year. I mean, well, yeah, 2/4 this year.
You
I'll
can
go
still
straight
throw them in
offensive
3
line.
this year too. You could throw in one of our
Yeah.
3s if you want.
I'm going
Throw 'em
straight
in there.
offensive line. That's what I would do if I was able to get him for only 2 first-round picks and 1 this year, 1 next year. Hell yeah. In a
Oh,
heartbeat.
that would be unbelievable, man. That would be unbelievable. From where we've been the last few years, this fan base will be popping, man.
Right.
Mhm.
I
All right,
wish
Pat.
for something exciting like that. I really do.
Yeah, I'm finna call it the night, man. Thank you for the consistent 30 viewers tonight, man. That's
I
dope.
know. It is
Thank you
dope.
guys for continuing to watching, man. Shout out to the 2 people that were on Twitch. Miz, had to get you back in here so you can get what you had to say. It was a little bit crazy earlier.
I just want to be positive. I'm trying to get people to have a positive look, or maybe finally there's the light at the end of the tunnel is finally starting now. You know, I feel like I just trying to have a positive thing. It's been so bad. You got something to be excited about. You know, the draft's coming, new people are coming in. Let's see what's up.
Yep.
Mara finally grew a hair on his balls yesterday for the first time, you know. So in a way, I guess. We'll see what happens. Thanks for coming on earlier, Pat. I think you enjoyed talking to her.
Yeah,
that was a
she
good
was cool.
little.
Like I said, I
I'd
had
like to
something
thank
pop
everybody.
up.
Yep. I'd like to
That's
thank
all.
everybody for coming in, man. Ms. Joe, Lou, safe travels to Lou. Hopefully he makes it to the city.
Adam.
He's supposed to be coming to see a couple of you guys. He's supposed to be coming seeing Adam and
Big fella.
I think you too, Miz. I think he's supposed to come see you as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find Lou this weekend.
But man,
I don't know
it's
yet,
been a
Jeffrey.
3.5 hour stream, man. That's crazy.
Don't know yet. It's
Shout
awful
out to
freaking
all
white.
Shout out to all the new people of the Big Blue Crew. Thank you for tuning into the streams. It's not one stream where you don't get at least 20 concurrent viewers. And that's what I'm trying to build for us, man. Thank you all for always showing support. And we'll see you, Friday?
Yep, we're doing a premiere, the draft.
Yeah, see you
talk to you
Fridays.
tomorrow at 7:00, Pat.
All right. Any last words you guys gotta say? Because if not, you know what time it is.
Smoke screen.
Exactly.
Right.
Smoke screen. Let's get it.